Grace recording here in a second. Will be out later today for your Braves fans. We had Buster Olney on earlier. War Damn Pods, The Village Vice with Zach and Brad. Taylor's a guest on that this week. Rolled Tide Pods, Elephant in the Room with Mick and Jake podcasted. The Meltdown live again at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Go enjoy it, subscribe, like, and give them a thumbs up. Until next time, God bless you, and God bless America.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live will share the latest interviews and videos from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and campuses all over the college landscape. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Live daily show. Jim, Lance, and Ryan will share their thoughts, and remember, you can always see the old shows on the Next Round Live YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, and don't forget to comment. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. It's Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
You've been wearing that thin, raggedy t-shirt for years now, and people cannot stop whispering and staring in your vicinity. We've all been there. Luckily, there's a solution to your lack of fashion and social cues. At NextRound.store, they have plenty of options when it comes to a variety of shirts and hats. Once you start putting that Next Round gear on, be prepared to make new lifelong friends and hundreds of unforgettable conversations. Hope you like random high fives in the street, because that's what you're getting after visiting NextRound.store.
Well, she's walking through the cloud with a circus smile, just running wild. Butterflies and zebras, fairy tales, all she ever wanted was riding in the wind. When I'm sad, she comes to me with 1,000 smiles. She gives to me free. It's alright, she said. All she ever wanted was riding in the wind. Yeah. Little bit. She's walking through the clouds with a circus smile. It's running wild. Butterflies and zebras, fairy tales, all she ever wanted was riding in the wind.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
I have attempted all morning to think of a realistic story, realistic being a key word in this sentence, a realistic story that you could have convinced me we would start the show with. Like if you had called me, Lance, at 5:45 this morning when I woke up and said, hey, I guess you've already seen it. We're going to start the show with blank. And it's realistic. Like, aliens kidnapping, Kirby Smart. Not realistic. Anything realistically, this is at the bottom of the list.
Well, I mean, if Rockstar would have called you and said, look, I know Dunaway's on this golf trip with a bunch of dudes, but Lance got arrested at 6 a.m. this morning, it would be more believable than what we saw.
Yeah.
The first thing I saw when I got up this morning, looked at the phone, was that. I thought it was kind of a joke. I was kind of a daze.
The only reason I didn't think it was a joke is it was being reported by Jeff Darlington, who covers the NFL. In fact, I've followed Jeff for a while because he's based out of Miami, or at least once was, and covered a lot of Dolphins.
Yeah, I was actually surprised Jeff Darlington was on the scene.
I know ESPN's got an army of people there, so much so they've got NFL reporters there. And so I immediately do what I have now learned to do on the Twitter, right, on the X, is click and make sure it's the actual account and I'm not being fooled by someone.
But when you see it, it was a constant flow all morning, and now the memes are out and
everything's out,
and I guess multiple reports and conflicting reports, and what's what. I mean, this is, and I'll tell you, the circumstances behind it with a pedestrian getting struck and killed is awful.
That is terrible. It was apparently someone with one of the merchandise teams that was hit and killed. It's a separate situation. They are connected in that was what was creating the traffic issue, but they're disconnected in what happened with Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, my point was going to be, outside of that, this might be the most blown up arrest of an athlete
ever
for something so minor that we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to have our good friend Tommy Spina is about to stop by in the next 5-10 minutes. He's going to jump on set with us. He's up to date on everything that's going on at Valhalla, and so he'll give us his legal opinion on how this thing goes. He typically tends to side with the defendant.
Here he is. Come on in, Tommy. Come on. Tommy Spina is going to jump in Dunaway's chair. I'm Ryan Brown. This is Lance Taylor. If you're just joining us, Jim Dunaway is on a golfer's vacation.
What perfect timing, by the way.
Yes, Dunaway to be out.
I've been up about 30 minutes.
Are you seriously? So Tommy's sleeping late now. Rockstar is here, our entire crew. Criminal defense attorney Tommy Spina, a longtime friend of ours, been on the show many times back in our radio days, and now here in the next round as well. First of all, it's great to see you, Counselor. I hope you're doing well.
Thank you. It's really interesting being on this side of the desk.
Yeah, normally you're in the guest seat, but we gave you Dunaway's chair.
I'm getting on up there.
Yeah?
If you're looking for a fourth, or if somebody's feeling tired and weary and wants to move along to a new profession, let me know.
Especially the summer rotation, always good.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, the ins and outs of all of this. I know state laws are different. This seems like something that would be pretty universal. But for Scotty Scheffler to not only be detained, but taken in, processed, and put in an orange jumper, it seems a little extreme.
It is clearly overcharged. In between the 8:15 wake-up call from Lance and the...
I didn't realize you're a busy man. I thought you could have been in, Wyoming for all I know.
It's Friday. It's rainy. It's late. The assault second degree, I did reach out to some friends of mine in Kentucky about the law in Kentucky, and I even text you the statutes. You may not know it because you hadn't had a chance to look, but assault second degree requires the use of a deadly weapon. Now, it's my understanding that there was some traffic issues, and Scotty went up over the median to get around, and the officer grabbed the handle of his car, and Scotty kept moving about 5 or 10 yards to the gate where you get in and out of a country club.
And maybe not even knowing, do you have any idea if it was driver's side or passenger side or back door?
No, I would think it would be driver's side. I'm just guessing, but that's certainly not a deadly weapon. You also have to have serious physical injury. And I don't know what kind of injury could be caused. He may have turned a nail, but it's overcharged, clearly, in my opinion. I suspect in the long run, it will be reduced to something, and it may even be dismissed if he agrees to say, I'm sorry, or I didn't know. There are many things that can happen by way of disposition on a case like this. It seems to be a clear misunderstanding and certainly an overreaction.
We've got, and I sent it to Scott, and I don't know if Scott's ready to pull this up, but we've got the statement from Scotty Scheffler's attorney. So maybe you can take a look at this, because it looks like
Where do I see
the
that?
way they're laying it out, it's going to be on your left, and we'll give him time to set this up. But the way this looks, the way he's framing this statement, Scheffler's attorneys, that Scheffler was not in the wrong at all.
Yeah.
And there actually might be some recourse on the side of Scheffler now.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, before we do this statement, let me just set the scene here. Scotty Scheffler is on his way to Valhalla in Louisville today. They're unfortunately, and as I said, independent. It is connected because of the traffic issue, but independent of what happened here, there was a worker that was walking to the course that was struck and killed by a vehicle. I've actually seen it reported as one of the shuttle buses. I don't know that to be confirmed, but the terrible situation, awful situation.
It caused traffic issues.
There was a shutdown of the road. Apparently, the PGA of America, aware of what happened, PGA of America is who runs the PGA Championship, reached out to local law enforcement and said, hey, we understand traffic is a disaster. Is there any way we can at least get our players in? And the police told the PGA of America, inform your players, as you approach police officers, you'll be in a courtesy vehicle that is marked, show your player credentials, you'll be allowed to enter the clubhouse. And so Jeff Darlington of ESPN reported when Scotty arrived at that spot, there was a broken down bus or a stopped bus that was blocking the lane they were supposed to be in. That's when he swerved out, and that's when this confrontation occurred.
As I understand, he swerved out and went over a median to get around.
Yeah, I've seen video. I did not see a median there. There are traffic cones. I didn't see a median. Now, that's not to say there wasn't one that existed.
I'm trying to explain why criminal mischief would be involved, because that's like damage to a property in excess of $250.
Right.
By definition in both Kentucky and Alabama. But the assault, second, is what got him arrested. Otherwise, he would have been given a citation in Alabama for a traffic violation.
Right.
But the felony requires the actual taking in.
Can you see that statement from there, Counselor?
And I will read it for those that are simply listening and not watching. In the early hours, this is his attorney's statement. In the early hours of the morning in advance of his tee time, Scotty was going to the course to begin his pre-round preparation. Due to the combination of event traffic and traffic fatality in the area, it was a very chaotic situation. He was proceeding as directed by another traffic officer and driving a marked player's vehicle with credentials visible. In the confusion, Scotty is alleged to have disregarded a different officer's traffic signals, resulting in these charges. Multiple eyewitnesses have confirmed that he did not do anything wrong, but was simply proceeding as directed. He stopped immediately upon being directed to and never at any point assaulted any officer with his vehicle. We will litigate this matter as needed, and he will be completely exonerated. That is the attorney's statement. An attorney in Louisville that would be similar to our man here, Tommy Spina. That's the type of person Scott would have.
It almost sounds like something I would have said.
No doubt. I could hear you saying that. Like if I were reading it at AL.com, it would have said, as released by attorney Tommy Spina, 100%.
Well, you got to remember, and I'm not trying to diss law enforcement at all, but that's an individual call. It's not, don't take offense against all law enforcement officers, but they have all the discretion in the world in that moment. So they can choose to do what they want to do because the arrest is based on a very low standard of proof referred to as probable cause. So it doesn't take much to get there. Apparently, this particular officer is not a golfer.
Apparently not.
Yeah, they had no idea who they had arrested. Yeah.
There is no telling what might have come from this had there been other dynamics in play. You are at Valhalla, and my guess this is probably the last PGA event that will ever be held there.
Well, they love that place,
So
though. They do.
quickly, and I know play-by-play is no fun for people listening, but Scheffler is on the tee box about to hit his first shot of the day from the 10th. And, Brown, I'll let you give a little play-by-play on what he does with this.
Well,
I'm surprised he's not wearing orange.
He was earlier today. Everyone at the course, and I've watched video, ESPN has shown his warm-up extensively. He seems to be in good spirits, laughing, talking.
Looks right.
Yeah, he did. It looks like he blew in the right trees.
Looked like my shot.
Oh, no.
That's pretty rare for, it's just right at the fairway, but
It'll
pretty rare
take
for
him a
Scheffler.
minute to get a groove going. But the delay, I was told by a lawyer in Kentucky who I spoke with right before I walked in this door, was not about his arrest. It was about the weather.
Yeah, the weather, and they were understanding, I think, the traffic contributed to it as well. You actually had video of players, Will Zalatoris, one of them, having to abandon their car and walk, is how bad traffic was. They couldn't even get to the point where they could be let through. So I think the PGA of America had to delay it.
The point I was trying to make is it's all within the discretion of the person making the arrest in that instance, a law enforcement officer. He did not have to go to the extreme that he did, but he seemed to have been pretty whipped up with the verbiage, "You're going to jail."
Yeah.
And once you hear those words, you might as well just sit back and relax.
Yeah, enjoy the ride.
Yeah, because you have to go through a process to come out of that sewer pipe on the other end and land on your feet, or in this case, the tee box.
Yeah, back on the first tee at Valhalla.
And I know Brown, one of his biggest fears is ever getting arrested.
Never
I haven't
wanna go
been
to jail.
arrested since 1996. And all my stuff was misdemeanors back in the day. And I remember getting the mugshot a couple of times. When I was processed, I never was put in an orange jumper, though. That seems extreme.
Well, typically they would not take you into general population if you were going to be in and out, what we call a round tripper. You just go in, make bond, and go back out, and they never take you upstairs or make you change clothes. You just stay in the holding facility area, the lower level, as you're familiar with, where the camera and the print machine is. And the drunk tank and all the
But I've even
stuff.
spent the night a couple of times and didn't have to wear the jumper.
Well, I don't want to probe too much, Lance, but where were you?
One time Vestavia.
Well,
one of your
that was
stomping
when
grounds.
I was there.
You probably were before we had a relationship again. I was a kid. One time Birmingham.
Well, in Vestavia at that time there was a jail that had 4 beds.
Yeah.
And when I was judged for 15 years, I didn't have anywhere to put anybody, and I certainly didn't really want to put anybody in jail.
My time at Homewood, Vestavia, and Mountain Brook never felt anything. But the one time downtown was a little different.
Yeah, downtown. It got a little more noise factor
Right.
going on, and you know the fragrance of ammonia, Clorox, and stale urine is just something about that.
But I mean, the majority of people had on the orange jumpers, and my whole point was for Scheffler to have that on that quickly. It almost seems like internally they were trying to make a point.
I mean, it was less than an hour after the reported arrest. They already had the mug out and everything. I mean, I've never seen them. I didn't know they got him out that quick.
That is uncommon.
Yeah, less than an hour. Like if
to get him out?
No. That the mugshot was already online. It was in their online database.
They probably expedited his processing, I would guess.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing. I like my clients to be processed quickly as well.
We heard Morgan Wallen was in and out in 30 minutes. I never saw a mugshot. Did you see a Morgan Wallen mugshot? Maybe there was.
I think one existed. But
I tell people
there was, okay.
When presenting themselves to surrender on a warrant that it can either take 45 minutes or 6 hours.
Right.
Because you never know what else is going on in the jail or with the jail staff, or is it court time, or is there some other disruption within the facility that could slow things down. Staffing is always an issue, but somebody knew who he was and they were trying to get him in and out. for that, he should say thank you.
A couple more questions real quick, though. We do need to do some commercials here. You know how the game works, Counselor. Tommy Spina, criminal defense attorney in studio with us. Johnston.
That was one right there.
Well, hey, I know. We're happy to give you a commercial. You've been a long time friend.
I hate recommending you because something bad's happened.
I know. But if something bad
I
happens.
hate when you call.
Tommy is with us. The show presented in part today by our friends at Johnston RV Center, I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. Always online, johnstonrvcenter.com. They've repriced both those lots I just mentioned, so confident in their pricing, in fact. They give you a nationwide price match guarantee. They'll beat a price. You just bring them a comparable RV on a price on a comparable RV. They will beat that price. That is a guarantee. RV warranty forever. Make sure you got a lifetime warranty on anything new and qualifying used. I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, johnstonrvcenter.com. So one of these charges reaches a felony level, right?
The assault second degree, especially on a police officer. But if you read the elements of the offense, and I'll let Lance look at his cell phone and read it to you from the first text I sent you.
Okay.
You'll see that the facts that we've been told about, if they are in fact true, do not rise to the level of assault in the second degree, especially the part about the use of a deadly weapon. It's my understanding the police officer reached for the doorknob of the car to open the door.
He attached himself to the door, is all the reports, whatever that means.
What is he, Spider-Man?
I don't know. I mean, you're right. You pretty much have to grab part of the car.
One of your write-ins said something about the Louisville Police Department being the biggest gang in the world.
Yeah.
Do they have a reputation?
I didn't get very positive feedback from my Lexington, Kentucky friend about the Louisville Police Department.
So, but here,
I say that with all due respect to all local law enforcement.
Right. So the question I wanted to ask, though, is it says he was released on his own recognizance, and obviously he was because he just teed off in the PGA. He had time to warm up.
That's a nice thing, too.
What, did you have time to warm up?
No, that you got released without having to post a bond.
And that's what I wanted to ask you. So with something that serious that involves a police officer, how does that even go down? Is it because of who he is? Did somebody get involved, do you think?
Well, that is done more often now than it used to be. But in Jefferson County, for example, any bond, $10,000 or less, you can sign yourself out.
Okay.
That has to do with the jail overcrowding. Poor people can't make bonds. We had to make changes. We were holding people in jail that couldn't afford to make bonds. And remember, there is that thing we give lip service to that's written in the Constitution about the presumption of innocence.
Right. So basically, he's right in a lot of cases. This is fairly common. Then this wouldn't just be because he's Scotty Scheffler.
But where is Scheffler from?
Texas.
Okay, so his attorney based in Texas, and I was going to ask you this too. Like, does he call an attorney in Louisville that he knows to help out with the whole situation?
I would.
Yeah.
I would not go. I hardly go to Bessemer without local counsel.
So this, all right. So this,
you would
this
always,
where you know the judge, somebody that's familiar with the territory,
just
right?
the lay of the land.
Yeah.
I mean, there are things that you need local counsel for, and I would never go into another state, and I do go into other states in federal courts, but never without local counsel.
So if this happened at Shoal Creek and Scheffler's attorney in Austin reaches out to you because they know you're Tommy Spina and they say, we need your help here, like, do you have to get in the car and drive downtown to take care of this, or that would be Shelby County, so to Columbiana to take care of this?
Regretfully, it would be Shelby County, and my guess is that bond you just saw being made would not happen in Shelby County.
Right. But you would have had to
he'd miss his tea time in Shoal Creek. Sorry, Matt. Sorry, Chief. You know I like you
but
all.
The attorney in Louisville, did he have to get in his car and like go down to the police department?
Well,
Does he make a call? What happens there?
Back in the old days, there was that element. But back in the old days, I would do that because I wanted to be hired, and you could bring like a roll of quarters into the jail and a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah, and get a client, right?
Yeah, because you're trying to say, look, I'm here to help you, and oh, by the way, here's a roll of quarters so you can make phone calls, because there were only pay phones back in the days, and here's a pack of cigarettes. Today, if I did that, I would go to jail for promoting prison contraband.
Right? Yeah.
So watching Scheffler walk to the cruiser there with the two officers seemed very calm, and he was having a conversation. you go back to the discretion of the officers. You would think that after having a subtle conversation that I'm Scotty Scheffler, I've got to tee off, that there would be some I don't know, reasonable thought, some logic of maybe letting him go. I would assume at that point they still have the discretion to let him go. Is there any repercussions possibly for that police officer?
Potentially. It's a long uphill battle to establish a wrongful arrest because the standard of proof that allows them to make that arrest is so low. The bar is very low.
So probably just call it a truce and we're done with this?
If it were me,
you being the attorney or Scotty Scheffler? If it were you.
If it were me being the lawyer representing Scotty Scheffler.
So if you're his attorney, right.
I would be trying to throw a bucket of water on this and put it to bed as quickly as possible, as minimally as possible, without him having to come away, especially with some kind of felony conviction.
That's right.
That's almost comical that he's charged with a felony.
And that's what I was about to ask. Like, how quickly can you negotiate just charges getting dropped on something like this?
Well, courts are busy.
So that requires going to court. Like the attorney and the police can't get together.
Maybe not. They can. But they don't get together with the police. They get together with the prosecutor.
The district attorney or whatever.
Yeah. So crimes are considered offenses against the peace and dignity of whatever state you happen to be in. So the fact that this officer will have input into that and you know, their internal affairs, administrative proceedings that could take place against him, if somebody wanted to bring it, I wouldn't recommend it because all that does is throw gasoline on a raging fire to me.
Well, I think they've done this because watching his approach on 10, he put it literally 3 inches from the cup.
Out of the rough.
And settled down there.
Yeah, so we saw Scheffler, melt with a 62 yesterday, and I just wonder what Scheffler, you talked about this course before we went on the air, is going to be really soft and forgiving today.
Oh, yeah, it's gettable today, counselor. It's been raining all night.
Well, the energy from that cream of wheat and cheese toast must really be kicking in at this point.
They wouldn't serve him that well. Have you ever played Valhalla?
No, I have not.
You know, we've got no. I don't play. He was supposed to play last year when
I was invited.
Alabama.
Yeah,
but so Taylor
that counts.
Taylor
I
Corn, our social media director behind you, Tommy. She's heading to Ireland today, and I know you've played a lot of courses. And
I've played almost all of them over there. Now I've played St. Andrews a couple of times, Carnoustie, name a few more, Western something.
Turnberry.
Yeah. I can't remember all the names, but
good for you.
It's a different breed of golf. This is called a park. They're called links courses. Yeah. So they're very flat. A bump and run is just as good a shot as the most beautiful drive you've ever hit in your life out there. So
different game, yeah.
I tend to play with a 7-iron all the way through.
Hey, I know when you go see your relatives on the boot.
Off the boot.
You're literally
Sicilian,
off the boot on that island. Yeah. What are courses like in Italy?
That island. I've never played a course in Italy. I don't really know. I know they had a championship here recently, just north of Rome. So I'm sure there's some very nice places. But
yeah, Ryder Cup was there. Yeah,
Sicily is not known for that. Sicily is more rural and agriculture, and there's a mountain range running through the middle, and it's very small. It's only 175 miles wide, and most of that is consumed with vineyards. So
not the stereotype, but literally the Godfather, when Michael goes back to his homeland and they're walking around, I mean, it looks like they're in the sticks.
Well, they are actually in a town called Savoca, which is just outside of Taormina, because Corleone, which is a town in Italy, wanted too much money for Francis Coppola to film there, so they recreated that town in another little town that looks just like those scenes you see in Godfather 1.
Is it still a throwback like that? Or
yeah, I've been there.
That's crazy.
I have a picture sitting at that bar. I'll be glad to share it with you.
I would love to see that.
And they have a tribute to Coppola there. It's just outside of Taormina, which is on the eastern side of Sicily.
Yeah, I think
beautiful.
I remember
That's
Coppola.
where White Lotus was filmed.
Yeah,
the series.
Second season.
Yeah, and the San Domenico Hotel was used.
Have you been there?
I have. I stayed there. It used to be a convent. I've spent a lot of time in Sicily. Yes.
Well, we hate it. Let me finish with the legal question.
I'd rather talk about Sicily.
I know you have, but we drug you out of bed to talk about legal issues.
My hair's still wet.
Oh, it looks fantastic. Based on this would just be a legal opinion here. Based on a guess, I think Scheffler's record is clean from what I can gather. The guy's got a pretty clean reputation. Would you assume all these charges get dropped?
I would like to think they reach some agreement where that he does something in exchange for that. Maybe teaches a class at does
a PSA,
the foundation,
something like that.
Something.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a big platform,
that's what I would do. I mean, you can take the position. Hell no, I'm not going.
Right.
Prove it, but. What do you gain by that? It just strings it out, creates more attention. I don't think he should get, special favored treatment, but they need to reach some compromise where everybody can shake hands, kiss and make up, and go away.
There's going to be multiple narratives, though. On the other side, just out of principle, does Louisville PD stick with their story where it doesn't look like they did something and overreacted and were in the wrong?
You keep referring to Louisville PD. This is one officer at Louisville PD. He's got a supervisor. He's got a lieutenant. He's got a chief. My guess is he's now just like any other witness in any other case. He's a witness. And someone else is probably going to be calling the shots. I mean, they're not going to want to do anything to make themselves look like what they look like. I wouldn't think.
Birdie on hole one, by the way.
They would be just as interested in reaching some resolution that makes everybody sort of kiss and make up and go away.
Yeah, and because there is a PR factor here for the city of Louisville as well.
Absolutely. That's why I said that Valhalla will never have another term.
I mean, this is
possible.
This is a blight on this one. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. So, you cannot, this is an expression of mine that some people listening have heard me say in my office, but you cannot make love and war at the same time. That statement had, the last line was kind of warlike.
Yeah,
the front line, the first part of it was more love-like.
Yeah.
Look, I didn't do anything.
Right.
We have a misunderstanding here, and somebody overreacted. And that overreaction was that one single individual who decided this was a felony because when he grabbed the car door handle, the car kept moving.
Yeah.
That's the way it was described to me, if those are the facts.
But when the word litigate shows up in a statement,
well,
we get to war.
Lawyers speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Scotty,
I don't think it's in anybody's best interest to drag this out and turn it into O.J. Simpson.
Scotty Scheffler, obviously, he himself had a statement, and Scott is showing that. I'll read it real quick for those just listening. This morning, I was proceeding as directed by police officers. It was a very chaotic situation, understandably so, considering the tragic accident that had occurred earlier. There was a big misunderstanding of what I thought I was being asked to do. I never intended to disregard any of those instructions. I'm hopeful to put this to the side and focus on golf today. And then he goes on to give his respects, pay his respects to the person that passed away. I would assume.
Think he wrote that?
No. That's what I was going to ask Tommy. I would assume a good attorney says, okay.
Another thing that looks like I would have written.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. A good attorney comes in and says, okay, here's your statement. I'll go nuclear in mine if I need to. But that'll be for me.
No, he's expressing
I know.
In that statement that he regrets what happened. He thought he was doing what he was instructed to do. And then he quickly moves to a much bigger picture of somebody's lost their life today.
Yeah.
And that's what we should be focused on, not the fact that I went around the car to get to my tee time. Did this happen early this morning?
Yeah, five-ish.
Yeah.
And it was rainy and dark.
So he's one of those golfers that goes to the range and warms up, unlike me.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Sadly, and, we just had the Regents here last week, and all of those people driving, the shuttles around are volunteers. And, at least what we've heard is that's what it sounds like is one of these volunteer shuttles is what struck and killed the pedestrian. And I mean, it's awful for the family of the pedestrian, but you think about a poor volunteer, limited visibility, whatever the situation was. It is a terrible situation.
So, I just want to real quick, I know things keep coming up. This is from the actual police report. So you were commenting on the damages, right? That would have to be, what was it you said, like in?
Serious bodily injury.
Okay, so from the police report, Detective Gillis stopped the subject, attempted to give instructions. Subject refused to comply and accelerated forward, dragging Detective Gillis to the ground. Detective Gillis suffered pain, swelling, and abrasions to his left wrist and knee. He was transported to the hospital for further medical treatment by emergency medical personnel. Detective Gillis' uniform pants, valued at approximately $80, were damaged beyond repair.
Does that sound like a felony to you?
No, I'll tell you what it sounds like is the cop knew who Scheffler was, and that's going to be a nice settlement.
Well,
because there could be a civil angle to that, could there not?
Well, of course. Everything's in play. But, you're not going to resolve this event on this day. This tournament has to finish. Time has to pass. I would put it, I put some time between the event and the actual resolution. However, from Scotty Scheffler's standpoint, he needs to put it behind him. I don't know where this officer's head is, but if he's like ramped up about it,
But how conflicting are the stories? Again, Scott,
they are.
The statement from the attorney and what you just said, the statement from the officer.
Yeah, the police report.
I mean, right there in the attorney, in the confusion, Scotty is alleged to have disregarded the different officers' traffic signals. Multiple eyewitnesses confirmed he did nothing wrong, simply proceeding, stopped immediately upon being directed, never at any point assaulted any officer with his vehicle.
And the police report says officer dragged to the ground, damaging body parts, going to the hospital, and $80 pants ripped beyond repair.
Well, maybe there's a body cam, and that would be nice.
Yeah.
But
our security cameras, it's right at the entrance of the clubhouse. There should be security cameras there.
It's very common in my business for the facts to not line up by each person reporting the facts.
Well, we have a jury, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, would that be the best spot to end up? I would say not. But
he's got a better chance of missing the cut than this thing going to trial.
I don't know where his head is. He's out there
he's
playing
one under
golf
through
today,
one.
and I'm saying,
Can't birdie him off. You don't birdie the first
I think
one.
he catches Scheffler. I think he still wins this thing.
I think he probably has the lead after today.
I wonder
honestly.
what happened to his odds, Mr. Lance.
Who, Scheffler or Scheffler?
Or Scheffler's.
Scheffler.
Oh, I bet this morning you could have gotten some really, or they probably pulled it off the board.
We'll ask Fuhrman. Fuhrman's up at the top of the hour. We'll ask him.
Hey, one thing before you get out of here. The other night we were at trivia at Odie's, and you heard him talking about Johnston RV. Our friend Nick Johnston was down from Coleman, and he asked me randomly. He's like, "Hey, have you ever watched the Jinx on HBO?"
Oh yeah.
And I was like, "My man Tommy Spina was on that counsel."
I was.
Yeah, part of the team.
And
There's a second episode, second part coming out.
I did make a cameo appearance in episode 1 as they showed the defense team walking across the street. I have no speaking part. My primary role was not lead counsel for sure, but I was involved in the case.
You have been practicing for almost a half a century, right?
Yes.
And
thanks
I think
for reminding me.
I think
46 years.
46 years.
You're getting along great. I think you told us at one point, I think it was on the air, that he was the craziest guy you've ever dealt with.
Well, he's dead now, and I don't like to talk about the deceased. I wouldn't say he was crazy, craziest person I've ever dealt with. I would characterize him as a psychopath with just a hint of a conscience. That's the way.
Wow, a psychopath can have a conscience?
Well, he wrote that. He wrote that note.
Yeah.
To let the police know there was a cadaver at that house. He was feeling a little guilt.
That's a weird sign of a conscience, but that is a conscience, I guess. Yeah.
And then again, he cut up a guy whose head is yet to be found in Galveston and was acquitted of that case.
They still look for the head?
We're still looking for that.
Okay.
Well, good luck on that.
We make light of
so
things.
much on your plate.
We do.
So much on your plate.
We do.
Yes, but I got out and got up and
you're the
came
man.
here for
Thank you, Tommy.
Thank
You're the
you for
best.
having me.
Do you
know we
think
love
you've been up at every minute getting a client out of jail throughout the night? Like from 12:01 a.m. to 6 o'clock in the morning?
In the old days, the answer to that may have been yes. Nowadays, the first call is to a bondsman or a person who has property that can post a property bond. I usually don't find out about these things until after that process has taken place. They may call, and a family member may call, and I would give them instructions on how to go about making a bond, but you're not going to find me answering a phone call much after 5, unless it's an emergency. I mean, there are some people, you being one of them, Lance.
We hope we're never in that situation.
Am I on the list?
You're on the list, but you would never call because you would never put yourself in any circumstance.
I would have said the same about Scotty Scheffler.
I would too.
Scotty didn't ask for this.
I know.
Scotty ran into a guy who was having a bad day.
Well, I mean, it appears.
That is really, there are cases of wrong place, wrong time.
Trust me, if this, again, I'll go back to Shoal Creek. If this happened going into Shoal Creek and somebody said, who do I need to call for you? Before my wife, I'm telling them Tommy Spina.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Then call my wife.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, on the app that I had created, it had a function where you could call a friend if you push this button.
Right.
And I always had it geared where it would call my best friend first and then call my wife.
Okay, yeah.
Because you really need somebody on the outside working for you because you don't get a lot of access to telephones when you're in prison. That one phone call stuff.
Is that legit?
That's the movies. Ultimately, it's legit.
But how fast do you get it?
But don't expect it to be happening the moment you walk in the door.
Right.
Hey, treat that special someone to the gift of luxury like this segue. Birmingham's best day spa, Woodhouse Day Spa. Got to catch up with Stuart the other day. Great people up there located at the Summit Shopping Centers. Just renovated the place. It is absolutely beautiful. You can choose from a menu of over 70 options, including massages, body treatment, skincare, waxing, nail services. I'm not going to tell you the number. It would blow you away, though, how many guys ordered gift cards online on Mother's Day.
Oh, I bet.
On the day. We love to procrastinate. It's a simple gift. They can send it to you. They can send it to whoever. Birmingham.woodhousespas.com. That's Birmingham.woodhousespas.com.
All right. He is criminal defense attorney Tommy Spina. Thank you very much, in all sincerity, for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Your friendship means a lot to us.
I appreciate you calling me, Lance. You're very lucky to catch me at the time that you did in the place that I was in. Because I was just down the street. I live near here.
Oh, okay. Hey, perfect.
I would say hit them straight, but it's going to rain today, so hit them straight next time you play.
No, I won't be playing this weekend.
Okay. Right.
Maybe Sunday.
Criminal defense attorney Tommy Spina. More the next round after this.
Thanks for having me.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Man, I love a good meal. I'm Jim Dunaway. A good meal is what you get with my friend Sterling at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster. We're talking great southern fried chicken, wonderful sides, hand-cut chicken fingers, po' boys, and those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. You got a perfect menu for everybody. Champy's Chicken is perfect for watching the big game, or taking a meal to the lake house, down to the coast, or stay in the restaurant and dine in a great atmosphere. It's all made fresh to order right there on 119 in Alabaster, Champy's Chicken.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531.
3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at The Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Those guys are dying breeds, man. The guys that can tell stories forever and ever. You know, I was in this this group last night, and the guy that was, kind of speaking, 82-year-old dude, was telling a story about how he played high school football with Bob Greasy or against him.
Oh, interesting.
And he used to sack Bob Greasy all the time.
Yeah.
And played basketball against Oscar Robinson. It's just, you get guys that age, they're the ultimate storytellers. And unfortunately, and I'm not trying to date Tommy, you heard the fact that he's practices for about 50 years now. That's just a dying breed.
It really is. We need to do a mystery fifth hour with Tommy.
Oh, yes.
We'll try to get him back up here and do a mystery fifth hour on stories, because stories, he's got them. As you mentioned, I mean, he's been part. I know some he's told us about that I don't even think he would bring up, actually, names that you absolutely would recognize.
Yeah. And he's done some really interesting, you heard him talking about federal cases, and he is such a respected defense attorney that he's one of these guys that, they will fly out to the Midwest or the West Coast, much like Rockstar's dad when it comes to litigation.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know Rockstar's father, Steve Henniger. If you've paid any attention to the show, we've mentioned him multiple times. I've heard him described as the best attorney in Birmingham. And I'm not just saying that because I know Rockstar.
Well, I think
Steve.
For his expertise, I would say that Steve Henniger is that guy. For Tommy's, I would say he's that guy. The funny thing is, Steve gets up at 3 or 4 in the morning, and Tommy was sleeping when I reached out to him at 8.
Like 6 a.m. half the day is gone. Like, what are you doing getting up at 6? Half the day is gone.
Yeah.
Wasn't it funny though? Tommy was like, and I said, well, it's 8 o'clock, and he's like, but it's Friday.
Right,
I understand if it's like Sunday or Saturday.
He still puts in like 16, 18 hours. Like, it's just amazing.
Yeah. But your dad represented Mike Price in his issues. Your dad represented Mike Leach. Yeah. So I've no joke. I have had people tell me in the legal profession. So a couple things normally happen. Like, people will talk about the show, and I'll know their attorneys, and they'll be like, God, I love Rockstar. And I'm like, do you know who Rockstar's dad is? And like, that's Rockstar's dad?
Yeah, Errol Flynn.
Well, and I think that's the ultimate form of respect, and it's how they get a lot of business, is these referrals from other attorneys. Like, my brother, who's an attorney down in Mobile, and you guys know Shane, but Shane has referred people to Steve, and he's referred people to Tommy, because he knows those are the heavy hitters when it comes to Birmingham and around here.
Yeah, we'll do a lot of segues today, because somebody, I think it was Jace in the chat room, was like, I can't wait for Brown's segue. If your kitchen or bathroom feels like a jail cell, call Brad Bell. We're not to that one yet. We'll get there. But speaking of heavy hitters, Greg from Pell City is a heavy hitter, and Greg will climb up on that roof just for you. We've got storms coming through today and tomorrow. If you are living in the Birmingham area, and it may do some damage, get Greg on that roof to check it out. Greg from Pell City will come do a risk-free inspection. He's not going to charge you a dime. He's going to get on that roof, and he'll be honest with you about if you need some repairs. If it's just time for a new roof, it doesn't have to be storm damage. Greg does tremendous work. Here's his cell number, 205-542-3531. That's Greg from Pell City. Storm Restoration Roofing. You can find him on Facebook, Greg from Pell City, if you prefer that method, but 205-542-3531, 205-542-3531. All right, we'll talk about the actual golf tournament. We'll go back to Scotty Scheffler. If you were on social media today, it was an incredible morning. We'll show you some of those tweets. Some of them legitimately made me laugh out loud. I'm not just saying that. Last night, just real quick, there was an NBA game. I'm not sure Denver was aware of it, but there was an NBA game last night. As big a blowout. There's a thing called the Memorial Day Massacre that some might remember. It was when Boston went out to L.A. and got beat by, I think, 30 on Memorial Day in the NBA Finals. That's when the NBA Finals were a little bit earlier back then. You don't see blowouts often like this in the NBA playoffs.
Well, I mean, it's a weird series because for Minnesota to go on the road, the defending champions, to beat Denver in games 1 and 2, then they had the shortest odds to win the NBA championship behind the Celtics. It really looked like that series was over.
Yeah.
Mike Malone rallies the troops, shows them videos of guys like Charles Barkley and Stephen A. Smith dogging them out. They win the next 2, and then they take that 3-2 lead, commanding 3-2 lead. I did back the T-Wolves last night. I did not see this coming. Jokic didn't play well. Jamal Murray is obviously hindered right now, hurt. He was 4 of 18 last night. But to lose by 45, and they were down 17 after 1, and you still think the Nuggets could scrap and bring that back, it's almost like they just tapped out and they're like, okay, we'll see you at Game 7.
They 100% tapped out. I don't know that I've ever seen this in the playoffs when the announcers were like, Mike Malone's got to consider resting his starters right now, which he did.
He did. I mean, they scored 9 points in the fourth quarter, outscored 29-9. That was a complete embarrassment. They lose by 45, but guess what? I fully expect Denver to win Game 7.
I do, too. Absolutely.
That is what is so insane about this postseason.
Yeah, but, I mean, you just never see a night like that. I mean, if you've got a 1-8 matchup, you might see it. But two teams like that, Minnesota and Denver, are both good teams, and just an absolute blowout.
Yeah, and I didn't see this, but 70, that's got to be the lowest point total that Jokic has ever been involved with as a Nugget.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a stunning night to watch that play out.
And this is one of those, look, you don't see this discrepancy. 62-43 on the boards, the T-Wolves beat them. I mean, almost by 20 boards.
That's hustle, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's hustle.
Yeah, and it didn't seem, that's so weird, though, that Denver was completely focused for games 3, 4, and 5, and then just completely out of sorts in Game 6. Really weird.
I can't confirm this number. I absolutely believe it. Paul says the series is 3-3. The average margin of victory is 21 for this series.
Yep.
I could 100% believe that.
I think that is right. By the way, Scheffler gave one back on 11.
He did. He bogeyed 11. So even par on his day. Listen, I don't,
I'm fascinated to see how he's going to play.
Oh, I thought he was going to tear it up. I'm surprised he made a bogey. But the bright side for Scheffler, he's not going to hit a shot today and it be the worst thing that's happened to him today. Like, I mean, you hit a shot in the bunker, you're like, not the worst thing that's happened to me today.
Well, look, he is one of those guys, and I know when you have a lot of success, people tend to pull against you. A lot of people do. He seems like one of those guys that you try to find a fault. You can't find a fault at all. But I think this is even more galvanizing for the gallery. I think people will go nuts, and I think he becomes – I know he's a fan favorite before, but would you not believe if you're just out there at Valhalla, you're probably like, I want this guy because of the storyline now.
It's wild, isn't it? All right, we will do our 40 and 40 team when we return. As we go to break, you mentioned the lock that you guys you're there at lanceslock.com, and unfortunately, back Denver. Didn't work out. Hemp Hill Services will have another lock right up there today at lanceslock.com.
We're still 2-1 for you yesterday. Lanceslock.com, brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. They do a fantastic job. Weather up and down. This is absolutely killing my pool, by the way. I swam laps yesterday and froze because it was 80. It's probably going to be like 75 after the rain today. But whether you experience plumbing, heating, or cooling issues in your home or business, they are ready to serve you at Hemp Hill Services. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there, 205-229-2090. Or hemphillservices.com.
Our MyBookie.ag 40 and 40 team unveiled when we return. Todd Fuhrman coming up, Rockstar in the Lounge, the Flora-Bama Lounge. All coming up on the next round.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
You could win a Cadillac CT5 or your share of $25,000 in free play and cash at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Play the latest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can be a winner too. Come win your share during the Cadillac CT5 and $25,000 giveaway at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Drawings April 5th and 6th. Located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older, must be present to win.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries
to the Avery Island Salad, handhelds like the all-new Chicken Bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the Bayou, the amazing hand-patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons, Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
Stallions fans, your undefeated Birmingham Stallions are back at Protective Stadium this Saturday at 7 p.m. The Stallions take on the Houston Roughnecks for Hats Off to Heroes. Fans who purchase our Hats Off to Heroes ticket package will receive an exclusive camo hat. With only 2 home games left this season, don't miss your chance to cheer on your Birmingham Stallions. Let's pack Protective, Birmingham. Tickets start at just $10 and are available at theufl.com. That's theufl.com.
The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
All right, we're going to get to our 40 and 40 team in just one moment, but first, under that beautiful next round hat is a beautiful head of hair regrowing.
It's coming for you, Brown. It's coming for you. You know, if you lean forward a little bit, I can see a little of your scalp.
Yeah, I know.
So, look, when I used to do this on camera, I could see my scalp. Yep. Guess what you can't see right now? My scalp.
Your scalp.
Because the hair has more than doubled in thickness since I went to see Dr. Beckenstein, best in the business for more than 20 years. Women and men have turned to Dr. B for a range of cosmetic and reconstructive procedures. He will use that experience, his advanced training, genetic testing to help his patients fully understand the procedures they are considering. Call Dr. B today. Schedule that consultation. Tell them the next round sent you. 205-319-0316. Again, I do that non-invasive treatment 3 times a week, 30 minutes each time on the couch. So that is it. Hair has more than doubled in thickness. For more information on this procedure and others, go to t3hair.net.
All right. As you know, leading up to SEC Media Days, we will do our 40 teams and 40 shows as voted on by the largest voting contingent we have ever had. You guys submitted a top 25. We curated that into a top 40, and we're going to unveil one per show leading up to SEC Media Days about a month from now. You can do the math and figure out, or a month and a half from now. You can do the math, figure out how close you are to SEC Media Days. And Dallas, based on the teams we are unveiling, we have already done 2 teams. Scott, if you will, let's give us team number 3. We go to the ACC for now. Virginia Tech coming in at team number 38, Houston 40, James Madison 39, Virginia Tech 38. Our MyBookie.ag code next round 40 and 40. The Hokies of Virginia Tech.
So Dunaway said both teams 39 and 40 were too high. Virginia Tech is too low, and a lot of this.
So, huh?
Well, they've got the most returning starters in college football.
Right.
They've got 11 on the offensive side. They've got 9 on defense. They return kicker and punter. So you're talking about 22 returning starters from a team that in year 1 under Brent Pry went 3-8. They started last year at 1-3, and they went 6-3 down the stretch. Cameron Jones got really good at the quarterback position, only turned it over 3 times. The guy is versatile, 818 rushing yards along with 5 touchdowns. I think they're going to be favored in 10 games.
10? Wow.
I do. Yeah, I think
it's a very, very soft start.
They're favored their first 4. Then they go to Miami. They'll be underdogs there. I think they will be favored until a November 9th home game against Clemson. I think this could be a shocking 10-win team.
Look out.
Virginia Tech. I really do.
So way too low if they're 10 wins.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that
38.
they're in the back end of the top 25. So, yes, I think they are too low.
So for those that aren't familiar with their schedule, and I understand why you're not familiar with Virginia Tech's schedule, they open at Vanderbilt. As you said, they'll be favored there. Marshall, then at Old Dominion, Rutgers. That's that soft start. You mentioned the trip to Hard Rock Stadium. Miami will potentially be a ranked team when they play them at Hard Rock Stadium there in Miami. That is a Friday night game, by the way. So for whatever that's worth, a Friday night game in Hard Rock Stadium, and then another road trip in the ACC at Stanford. Now, it sounds stupid, but it is. Bye week, Boston College, Georgia Tech, at Syracuse, Clemson. So October and then early November, they play a lot of home games right there.
Well, you think about the road games. Stanford, that's second-year coach, but still, Stanford's not going to be very good. Syracuse, Fran Brown, new coach.
First-year coach.
Duke, first-year coach.
Yeah, they're at Duke. Yep, that's their road trips. I mean, that's not a really, when you add Miami and Old Dominion and Vanderbilt in, not a terrible road schedule.
So before I went to the official registration of 25 teams, I sent Dunaway my top 40 because I was confused. And I felt bad because I had Virginia Tech at number 30. And I was like, can I find a way to get them in the top 25? And I just haven't seen them play at that level in a long time. But when you start to look at the schedule and you look at the experience, I do think Virginia Tech could be one of the dark horses this year. And I think that would be great for Brent Pry.
MyBookie.ag, code next round. That's who brings you the 40 and 40. We'll unveil a team every single show leading up to SEC Media Days. You can go to MyBookie.ag, code next round, and bet on anything, anytime, anywhere. Use code next round to get that special sign-up bonus. In fact, some exciting things I can tell you about MyBookie. Listen to this. With MyBookie.ag. So, many people have been in this situation before. Weekend trip to the casino canceled. Real life calls you to cancel it. They've got a new and improved online casino at MyBookie.ag. Truly realistic casino experience. All the latest slots, progressive jackpots, live dealer action, all from the comfort of your own home. The MyBookie Casino, a Las Vegas experience. Action in your hands, though, and you don't even have to wear pants. Start at MyBookie.ag. Generous sign-up bonus with code NEXTROUND. Code NEXTROUND at MyBookie.ag. Loyalty program, VIP perks when you use code NEXTROUND. The more you play, the more you win. MyBookie.ag, code NEXTROUND to get signed up for that Las Vegas experience right there in your home with a MyBookie Casino. MyBookie.ag, code NEXTROUND. 10-win Virginia Tech team. Brent Pry, interesting hire, was the defensive coordinator there, for those that have forgotten, at Penn State, got that job. As you said, bad start for him. So what, 4-13 in his first 17 games, but he turned it around.
Yeah, he turned it around. They ended up 7-6 last year, winning a bowl game. They get no Florida State, no Louisville on this schedule. And again, this is one of those quarterbacks, when you watch Jones play, really developed as the season went on. Fully expect with all of that returning experience coming back that this is going to be a much better team than expected. And look, and if they got one of those games, either Miami or Clemson, this is a team they could play for the ACC championship. Dark horse.
Dark horse, yeah.
I mean,
but it is that open in the ACC, I think.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, right now I say Clemson and Miami play for it, but, if Virginia Tech did, based on schedule, it wouldn't shock me.
All right, hokey high over team number 38, MyBookie.ag, 40 and 40. Todd Fuhrman is coming up. We will keep you updated on Scotty Scheffler. Started with a birdie and then a bogey, so even par. After his arrest and booking this morning, a sentence you don't often see in professional golf, much less with Scotty Scheffler. Otis takes us to the break, though. Rockstar, are you back out there this weekend? You got a voice, so no.
Yeah, we are the last day of the month. We are at the Homewood location on May 31st. Our first, the big tour starts. We're at a different location.
That is the next time you'll lose your voice.
Yeah.
Is that the first time you've played the Edgewood location?
This will be the first time.
Yeah, good spot.
So
I
two
like
locations there. Will be live music tonight, tomorrow night. Both locations, the original and Crestline. Newest location we were talking about there, Edgewood, Homewood area, right there on the corner of Broadway and Oxmoor. Enjoy the great food from Rodney Davis all weekend long, from the award-winning wings, delicious burgers, great sandwiches like the Diablo sandwich, ice cold beer buckets, full of the Bud Light. Great place to go watch all the PGA action. Both locations, Odie's Tavern.
We go to the desert. Todd Fuhrman next on the next round.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them The Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Hang out with The Next Round on the go. Whether you're driving to work, running errands, sitting on the beach, or you just need a break from the real world, we can keep you company. Check out The Next Round, Mystery Fifth Hour, and our other shows on your favorite podcast app. We'll meet you there.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Maybe you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, or TikTok while we're changing the game yet again. Tyler's Telegrams has been developed exclusively for you.
Hi, this is the lovable boy you know as Tyler the Intern. I'm a businessman now. I will come directly to your door and tell you every time a new piece of TNR content drops. For the low, low price of $740,000, you can be notified by me, one of the biggest stars of The Next Round, about that thing you missed. Sure, the rest of those social media services are free, but so is radio, and we all know how well that's trending.
Tyler's Telegrams is currently operating exclusively in Bibb County. Other social media platforms are available everywhere.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, we start a fresh hour of The Next Round, presented by Bud Light. We are in the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios. He is Lance Taylor. I'm Ryan Brown. Jim Dunaway, a merch model, nextround.store, nextround.store. Dunaway on his golf vacation. He will be back with us, plans to be back with us on Monday. Rockstar is here. Scott Forrester back from the state softball tournament with his daughter. Lunsford, Tyler, the entire crew here, E.G., Little T, Kelsey, Reed, the whole family here today, except for Dunaway, on a Friday. Todd Fuhrman is part of our family. BetTheBoardPodcast.com is the website. BetTheBoardPodcast.com. Fuhrman, what is up? How are you today?
I'm doing well, gentlemen. But, Brown, I have one question for you. Dunaway plans to be back on Monday. What is this, an open-ended trip? He just decides he strolls back in studio when he feels it behooves him to rejoin you boys at the table?
He is traveling. Yeah. He is day-to-day.
You never know with Dunaway. I texted him last night because he's got 36 holes today, and there's rain all over the South. And I said, I'm predicting a Monday finish on the Golf Channel for your group because there's no way you get 36 holes in today. So I do leave it open-ended for him.
Hey, I respect that then. That's the relationship that you boys have built over the years, that you have that flexibility.
Hey, no so Fuhrman, what happened this morning with live odds when Scheffler gets arrested, and it's kind of an unknown whether or not the guy's going to make his tee time? Did they pull that off the board, or could you get pretty good odds on Scheffler to win this thing?
So I wasn't up when it officially became breaking news and we saw Jeff Darlington's report outside of Valhalla, but from some of the guys that I spoke to this morning, they just pulled the odds, given how prominent Scotty was as the third favorite coming into today behind only Xander Schauffele and Rory McIlroy on those updated numbers. So they pulled those because if you're removing Scotty completely from the equation, should he not have been able to tee off today, it would have changed things substantially. Now, what always gets interesting is some of the round 2 head-to-head matchups that are out there on Scotty Scheffler. Those were kind of up on the board because books were afforded the luxury that if Scotty never teed off, they'd be full refunds. The interesting dynamic for those folks that may be new to betting golf, though, is that if Scotty wasn't able to continue the tournament and only ended up playing just the first round, any head-to-head matchup where you bet against him would have been considered a winner.
Where is he right now? Because right now he is playing his fourth hole of the day. He's 1 under on today's round and in 7th place, just 4 shots out of Schauffele's lead. So where is he in live odds right now?
You know, it's always interesting because when you have a player that comes in with odds as short as Scotty Scheffler, I mean, he's the second favorite at this point. So he would probably have to go out there and shoot, 3 or 4 over to fall completely out of the mix. And when you look at his price tag there, this is a guy that closed in that 3.5, 4 to 1 range. And that number is very similar to what he had opening the tournament, even though he's staring down the barrel of one of the top golfers that he's trying to chase. So it'll be interesting to see exactly where he finishes the second round. We know some of the leaders won't be out on the course until the afternoon session. But unless Scotty completely implodes here, you're not going to get a great price, given that odds makers don't need to take on any additional liability in this particular market.
Fuhrman, switching to the NBA, it's been a fun second round. I fortunately had the T-Wolves minus the 2 last night. Had no idea that the Nuggets were going to get blitzed like that. I mean, by 45, that thing was over in the first half. How did the books do last night?
This may be fun for bettors, I'll be honest, but from a casual fan standpoint, I mean, what are we really watching in some of these NBA games? It feels like every one of them has a double-digit deficit in the fourth quarter, last night being kind of the coup de grace to your point, LT, when the Timberwolves are able to build a 50-point lead. A good decision for the house getting that game to come in under the total. There was a lot of support for the Denver Nuggets, both plus the points and on that short money line tag. I think everybody had kind of already started to eulogize Minnesota in the wake of them losing 3 in a row. And when we hit the fast forward button to Game 7 on Sunday, the Nuggets actually opened in that 4.5, 5 range. No real movement here. Where you've seen a little bit of money come in early on, and it's kind of expected, is under the total. This number opened at 199. We're now down to 198. But again, odds makers know the trend. I think over the last 17 Game 7s, unders have gone 13 and 4, but they're forcing you to pay a premium with that Game 6 total closing in that 204.5, 205 range. We're down to 198. And as we saw in Game 7 between the Cavaliers and the Magic, that number was depressed and actually the lowest total in the series. And had it been in line with the previous 6 games, you still would have been able to cash in under. But alas, once you applied the tax, weren't able to get to the window going under the total.
Normally, when you have a 7-game series, you say, man, this has been a good series. But as one of our members of our audience pointed out, the average margin of victory in this series, Denver and Minnesota, is 21. So it's kind of hard to say we've had a good series, Fuhrman.
And that's the whole thing with the NBA playoffs. I mean, it can be a great product and a lot of fun to watch when you do get these competitive games, but it's almost though the competitive balance in the NBA, they have a playoff problem. It's anticlimactic because so many of these games, especially when they're in the standalone time slots, don't live up to the advanced billing when you grow accustomed to the college football playoff to some extent now. The NFL and the NHL, where almost every single game this time of year is decided by one goal. I don't know, unless you're betting these games, who's watching these games from start to finish deep into the fourth quarter when you're trying to figure out, wait, who are these players? And, I remember some of these guys. Luka Garza used to fill it up for Iowa a handful of years ago, and that's the last time I've seen him play relevant basketball. And he almost outscores the Denver Nuggets by himself in the fourth quarter, with the Nuggets winning that battle 9-8.
I want to ask you about Knicks Pacers. Knicks have 2 chances to close this thing out now, but it starts tonight with the Pacers favored 6. How do you see this series playing out?
And this number, we've seen money come in on the Pacers. Game open 5 has leaked out to 6. Totals come down a touch from 217.5 to 215.5. The Knicks, to a certain extent, have been a team that's looked like they're running on fumes. They clearly benefited immensely going into Game 5 with that extra day of rest, paid off, were able to get that victory. For me, I think this number's a little bit rich, and I'm not sure I'd be running it back to Knicks on the money line here. But with the price 6.5 widely available, almost want to pay to see Tyrese Halliburton go out there and perform at a high level, knowing he's dealing with a laundry list of injuries. I'd lean under the total myself and make a slight case for the underdog in this one.
Okay, Fuhrman, NFL schedule released just a couple of days ago. I love the first game on the slate. The numbers have already come out for week one. I like Baltimore plus the 2.5, and I like the last game on Sunday with my Rams at Detroit catching 3. What is the max bet you can play on these right now? Are they kind of circle games where it's like $1,000 at most books right now, or will they go up from that?
You know, if you poke around and try and play at a variety of shops, you'll be able to move a substantial amount of money even this far out on the NFL games. But to your point, when you talk about individual limits at most books, a couple $1,000, and as I look here right now to kind of see what one of the more prominent shops out here in the desert will actually take for NFL Week 1, you're talking about a $3,000 max bet on a side, $1,000 on a total, and $2,000 on the money line. So halfway decent pop for most folks, but professionals aren't going to try and beat these numbers into shape just yet. What is always interesting, though, is how the win totals market will start to adjust. We, of course, knew the opponents. We just didn't know exactly the order that those things were going to lay out. And when you look at a team like the Steelers, they already had a difficult schedule on paper, and that thing only gets that much more daunting when you look at their final 8 games, knowing that they'll play their first division game in Week 11, and you've already seen that win total start to tick down along with the New England Patriots.
The Chiefs deal, though, playing 3 games in 10 days, I know that happened back in COVID, but it is extremely rare this day in the NFL to ask a professional team to play 3 games in 10 days. That's hard to do.
It definitely suboptimal when you look at the schedule congestion that's there. The Chiefs, though, will benefit at least early on in the season in terms of getting a little bit more of extended rest. And the Jets, another team that'll play a lot of games early on. They'll play on the opening Monday night. They'll play Sunday, and they'll run it back on Thursday. So their schedule of opponents during that stretch, not the most grueling, but those are the things you look for to try and find an edge, whether it's in season win totals, the futures markets, or more importantly, week to week, where oftentimes odds makers can't really capture that particular premium. And as we've come to see over the last handful of years, as these schedules get elongated, we get the addition of the 17th game, rest becomes paramount late in the season, and that's kind of where you look to exploit some of these edges on a week-to-week basis.
People don't believe that this is not a scripted segment. They don't believe your Rolodex of knowledge. We just throw things at you. You might not know this one, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Titans at the Bears Week 1, Bears minus 4.5. This seems like and I know it's the Titans, seems like a big number for a rookie quarterback's first start. Do you have any idea what that number would be, like the record biggest number a rookie quarterback's ever laid in his Week 1 start?
Don't have that number in front of me. The one thing I can tell you, though, is that rookie quarterbacks Week 1 have been an automatic go against. You're talking about a win percentage that's below 30%. And those numbers get distorted a little bit now because NFL quarterbacks come in a little bit more ready and buttoned up for Week 1. But anytime you're looking at a price tag over a field goal, I'm with you here, LT. I think you're going to get a lot of public support for the Bears, the excitement about Caleb Williams, and a team that trended up down the stretch from a defensive standpoint. But this Titans team revamped some of their offensive personnel, has to be a little bit better in the secondary. And I think if this number were to leak further, you'll get professional support and maybe a little bit of a nibble on the under from pro bettors here, taking the Titans at an inflated tag.
As Daniel points out in the chat room, it is also Brian Callahan's first game for the Titans. So you got a first-time head coach and a first-time quarterback. But I was going to ask you, Fuhrman, whose quarterback situation do you feel better about, the Titans starting Will Levis or the unknown and Caleb Williams starting for the Bears?
It's a great question because I haven't been bullish on Will Levis. I think he's a little bit erratic, but when you look at some of the weapons the Titans have given him this offseason, you have to imagine it's going to at least give them a little bit more upside. We'll see if Treylon Burks is part of that receiving room as well going into it. But for me with the Titans, look, they're going to try and run the football. It was a difficult task last year against the Bears, but I do feel more comfortable that Will Levis has at least seen NFL defenses, has a couple of games under his belt, and I think there's a little bit of a learning curve moniker for Caleb Williams, because while the skill set is tremendous, he's a quarterback that thrived when things broke down around him and never liked to necessarily play inside the structure of an offense. I think this Bears team is getting a lot of hype, and you can understand why, but I think it's a team that hasn't exactly thrived as a favorite with some of their previous quarterbacks, and the idea of laying more than a field goal in a quarterback's debut with so much hype and expectation around him, definitely something that I wouldn't be running to do out of the gates.
Wednesday, we started our 40 and 40 leading up to the college football season. Today, we previewed number 38. That was Virginia Tech. I think they're too low. This is a team that started 1-3. They finished 6-3. They've got 22 starters back. And I don't know if you looked at the schedule, but I'm handing out free money right now, Fuhrman. The win total is 7.5. Most shops between minus 170 and minus 185. They're going to be favored, at least on paper, in 10 games.
Hey, look, this is a Hokies team that exceeded some of my expectations last year when you look at what Brent Pry was able to do. A quarterback in drones that started to show a little bit more ability as a passer. We know the legs are about as dynamic as you're going to find. When you look at some of the pricing in the ACC right now, I don't think it'll surprise anyone, LT, that Clemson and Florida State more or less co-favorites, despite Dabo's very interesting comments about the transfer portal. We've seen a little bit of money come in on NC State, that number from 9-1 down to 6.5-1. A major upgrade at quarterback with Grayson McCall there, but would have no problems whatsoever about making a case for Virginia Tech being a little bit of a dark horse. And when you look at their early schedule, there's no reason to believe that this team can't be 4-0 going into Week 5 against the Miami Hurricanes team on a weeknight, knowing that the Canes probably come in with a slight coaching disadvantage. And if you win that game, all of a sudden things get to be a lot more interesting there, but it would be tricky if you upset Miami and then have to travel across the country to Palo Alto. That game against Stanford may be a landmine before their bye week.
All right, Fuhrman, before you go, you do a great job at Bet the Board Podcast on everything. One thing Fuhrman is exceedingly good at is NASCAR. You'll love this story. Dunaway is not here to tell it, so I'll tell it on his behalf. Sunday, Dunaway puts down, and I don't even know the odds. Do you remember the odds he got Brad Keselowski to win at? It was pretty good odds.
Like 13-1?
13-1, something like that, Fuhrman. So he goes to MyBookie.ag, gets a little action on Brad Keselowski, 13-1. Do you know why he decided to bet on Brad Keselowski?
I'm hoping it's because he listened to the Bet the Board podcast. As we gave Brad out as the winner earlier in the week, including his top 10.
He probably did.
That would make far too much sense for Dunaway.
So let's hear Dunaway's justification for that particular endeavor. Hopefully it had to do with the paint scheme and the throwback to the Castrol 6 that he was doing.
Nope. All those are incorrect. He bet on Brad Keselowski because he thought Keselowski is racing in his home state of Michigan at Michigan International Speedway. So he'll probably win for the home crowd. Fuhrman, you know the issue with that, don't you?
Yes. Last time I checked, Darlington, South Carolina isn't located in Michigan, whether it's the Upper Peninsula or anywhere else. So I'm glad Dunaway is so well trained when it comes to Southern geography that he thought Darlington Racetrack was in Keselowski's home state of Michigan.
And of course he won. Only Dunaway could pull that one off.
Hey, look, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and Brad does continue to look for that elusive checkered flag at Michigan International Speedway, but alas, it did not come last weekend, even if he broke a 100-plus race winless streak.
All right, bettheboardpodcast.com. Fuhrman just told you he gave you the NASCAR winner before Darlington. So did Dunaway. He just thought it was before Michigan. Fuhrman, thank you for the time. Have a great weekend.
Always a pleasure, gentlemen. Enjoy the weekend.
All right, buddy, you too. Fuhrman with us. bettheboardpodcast.com. Johnston RV Center.com hotline is where you found Todd Fuhrman. We've got the EA Sports college football. A lot of you are fired up about this. They've dropped the trailer. I'm assuming by the fact that Rockstar has it in our preview screen. Everybody back there thinks we can play this and not get contract.
We're going to do no volume, so I can just talk over it. We got little Guns N' Roses and stuff under it, so
that's 100% going to get a sting.
Does it open with Boise State? Is this the turf I'm seeing?
Hang on, don't start it yet.
Okay.
Inverness Country Club, and then we're going to start and see if it somehow opens at Boise State.
Weather a little shaky where we originate here from in Birmingham, but look, you're looking for something to do this summer. You want a fully packed summer that is going to lead to lifelong memories. How about Inverness Country Club? Find your sense of community at Inverness Country Club. They've got memberships that fit everyone, from the social membership, including that resort-style pool complex, full-service cabana and bar, live music on Friday night, Sunday brunch, the golf membership, beautiful course out there. Brownie played it just a couple of weeks ago with Dunaway. They're currently expanding the driving range, and if you travel for work or pleasure, ask about that Heritage Plus option. You'll have access to courses at 37 other clubs around the country. Child care, major plus for a lot of young families out there. If you want a night with the wife, you want to go out and hit the course course with the wife, play around the golf, or if you work from home, you just want to go work at the club, they've got childcare on site for you right there at Inverness Country Club. Here's what you need to do. Take a tour today of the unbelievable club. Call Aaron. Write the number down, 205-991-8608. Again, that's Erin, 991-8608. Tell her the next round sent you. For more information on this beautiful club, Inverness Country Club, the best days happen in Inverness, go to iccalabama.com.
Okay, so many of you are excited about NCAA college football coming back out on EA Sports. I know it's going to be incredible, even better with the audio. But
we're going to do 45 seconds of audio, then I'm going to kind of fade. That's when the music
That's when Guns N' Roses starts? Yeah. Okay, so Rockstar is going to fade the audio out. So for those of you pumped up about it, you're at work, you haven't been able to watch it or whatever, here we go. EA Sports College Football. Howard's Rock, Notre Dame.
Oh, no.
Is that Boston College?
Yeah, they rub an eagle?
Okay, there you go. There's so keep going, and we'll keep going with it, but just no audio. We got helicopters over the field. We've got Texas coming out of the tunnel. Boston College was very weird, and Wyoming.
You know, there was a time I thought Techno Bowl had really good graphics.
Oh, I know. This is literally like watching a live game. I mean, their graphics have gotten so incredible. Demon Deacon comes out on a motorcycle.
I did not know that.
I didn't either. Oh, they played the sword in midfield in the Coliseum.
Crowd was a little large there.
Yeah, too many people there at kickoff for a USC game. Of course,
it was raining at Husky Stadium.
Of course, yeah. Notre Dame out of the field. I haven't seen many SEC teams.
Where is Dabo sprinting down the rock?
That's true. I'd like to see that. I tell you what. I mean, I don't want to be this guy, but underrepresented SEC in the opening here.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Very underrepresented. Where's the SEC
we saw
team?
LSU.
We've seen LSU, Texas A&M, and Oklahoma are the only ones I've seen. Wow, Iowa, they're waving at the kids. Texas, okay. That's 4 that I've counted. There's some more LSU. Oh, there's Alabama's got the belt.
They did.
Did you see that?
Yep.
Yep, Georgia, Tennessee, Oregon. Wow. Oh, yeah. There's Milroe to pass against Georgia. Day game. Milroe got sacked.
He did.
He got sacked hard, too. Well, a lot of Milroe in this thing.
Milroe.
Is he going to throw a touchdown? Apparently to Colorado.
That's the first Colorado we've seen.
Yeah, you didn't get a whole lot of Colorado, even though it's heavily represented on the cover. All right, it's back. It is back.
There you go.
They've dropped it.
Bring glory home, they say.
Yeah. Lunsford and Tyler. I don't know who wants to weigh in on this. Those are my experts on gamers. I mean, thoughts on what you saw, Lunsford?
It seems like my thing is all the stuff you saw of like them coming on the field and everything is probably what you will see every single game for like Clemson coming in or Notre Dame coming in. So that's all cool now, and it'll eventually get old. But
I think it is cool though, Lunsford. Like, I guess it's cool. Like, I didn't realize Boston College, they rubbed an eagle.
Yeah, I don't think they do.
Room.
I think we've manufactured that for purposes of the game.
If you're playing random teams to see maybe some of the traditions that we don't know about.
Yeah. And like, I've seen a lot of people say, well, it's going to be fun for a year and then it's going to go back to the same old, same old. That's fine, but I'd rather reskin Alabama and Auburn on the jerseys as opposed to the NFL teams for Madden. At least we're getting that back. At least the players' names are going to be on the jerseys, so we don't have to worry about it. You hear a little bit of it after we killed the audio, but Fowler and Herbstreit are the two main announcers, and then Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer, David Pollock are the ones that are on the game outside of them.
Oh, David Pollock.
I know we talked about who could potentially be on there, but they officially announced those people. But it's going to be fun.
We know who is on the Madden game.
We do. We can't say it yet, can we?
Cannot say yet.
No.
It's going to be really interesting. Do you have any idea, Lunsford? Have I told you or we told you?
I do not know.
Okay.
Tell you in break if you can.
Tyler is a fan of the mascot games. Do we know if we can play mascots yet?
I'm trying to read through. They put just a bunch of like basically a big article on the website. I'm trying to read through and see all of that. I have not seen anything about mascot mode. It has Dynasty on there. You can do an online Dynasty with up to 32 people, basically doing seasons and stuff like that. There's Road to Glory mode where you basically live the life of a student athlete. You create a player and like go through college basically. You have to manage your weekly schedule, GPA, and your image.
Oh, dear Lord.
So I guess you have to go to class and do it.
Poor Scheffler right now.
I couldn't do that in real life, much less on a video game.
Is like Dion on it?
Prime?
Like, will they have like stills of him in the sideline?
Travis Hunter clearly is.
With a camera crew
because
around
Did they
him?
show any coaches in the trailer?
I didn't see a single coach. No, it's all players.
So,
And
yeah,
did DeBoer get hired in time to be Alabama's coach?
Well, I am curious. With Madden, they'll update it as you go with like trades and stuff like that. Like to play online, you got to use like the latest roster. So I don't know. I mean, not that you have in-season movement necessarily, but like by the time the game comes out, there could be transfer portal stuff, I guess. I don't know.
As B. Ambler says, and is showing right now, if you're watching, guys, Jalen Milroe throws Gravedigger to Travis Hunter in the game. Apparently.
See that. That's pretty
Call that
good.
an interception.
That is good. Somebody said it's not realistic. The snaps were 2 on point for Milroe. So a lot of
love our listeners. Just cutting it apart.
Just tearing it apart before it's even released. Troy says they say no coaches will be represented.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Well, I mean, the players bounce around a lot too, but the coaches bounce around so much, it's kind of hard to do that. All right, thank you very much, Lunsford. So the EA Sports deal is out. You will be able to get that. We'll have some fun stuff coming up with it, by the way. So stay tuned. All right, somebody said this earlier. They can't wait to hear Brown. I think it was Jace. Brown, make this transition. You think Scotty's jail cell was awful today. How bad is your master bathroom? Well, A-plus Tile Home Remodeling can fix that. A-plus Tile Home Remodeling, my man Brad Bell is the guy that could he could even remodel a jail cell. Scotty's showing you some before and afters of my master bathroom. Master bath, kitchen, master bedroom, closets. That's where A-plus Tile Home Remodeling does their best work. Brad Bell does his best work there. If you're tired of an old, outdated bathroom, a shower, a kitchen, a master bedroom, closet, get Brad out there. The reason I point those three out, he'll do anything, but the reason I point those three out is you're going to spend a vast majority of your time in those rooms when you own the house, and when you go to sell your house, those rooms are really going to pop if they're updated. So let Brad do the work now. 205-422-1758. When it came time to do our master bath, we scoured the internet. Jennifer did. Looking for the best person to do the job. Brad was the guy she picked. I am so glad she did. This is his cell number, 205-422-1758. 205-422-1758. Brad Bell, A-plus Tile Home Remodeling.
Follow Sean Lunsford on Twitter @JLuntz.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Things fall apart. There's even a book about it, but that doesn't mean you have to break the bank to fix them. Ryan Brown here for the next round. Our friends at Mortgage Right have a new renovation option that will make repairs and other home improvements easy. If you've recently purchased a home and find yourself short on cash, or you're looking to buy a fixer-upper, Mortgage Right's renovation loan program can help you spruce up your space. Repairs can be made to your roof, plumbing, flooring, and more with the help of top-notch mortgage professionals. So get your fix by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR. And MLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali.
It's time to pull the trigger on the Next Round merch that you've been eyeing. We know there's a lot to choose from at nextround.store, so here's a few of our favorite picks. If you want to match LT and Brown, go with the TNR logo hoodie and throw in one of Dunaway's favorite hats. Any of them will do. The Backroom's go-to is the classic logo t-shirt, while my personal favorite is the light blue TNR crew neck. All of these items can be found at nextround.store and are EG approved. Rest assured, your order will be packed with lots of love from us here at the Next Round. Head over to nextround.store to start filling up your cart.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access Jim anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Dunaway is standing by ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of nextroundlive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President.
Hey, the UFL is coming back to Birmingham. The Protective Stadium will be the site of Houston and Birmingham tomorrow, 7 o'clock. Saturday, 7 o'clock. If you're in Birmingham, great time to go to the game. You can find tickets right there by going to theufl.com, theufl.com, where you get all the Stallions tickets there. Single game tickets starting as low as $10. You can find those at theufl.com. I believe by 7 o'clock tomorrow night, the rain will be moved out. Should be a nice night there, and you can go enjoy a nice night down at Protective.
I got somebody coming to town, or I would go to the game.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way,
they haven't lost in a year. So.
Pickleball update. Have you guys ever played? I don't think you've played. Have
Never
you ever
played.
No.
Scotty?
Lunsford says he bought gear once, or it was given to him or something like that.
So I got invited by one of our listeners to play, and so we went back and forth on some DMs, and I agreed to play Saturday, and guess what time he plays?
Saturday. What is going on Saturday?
6 a.m.
7 a.m.
You got to.
He's like, we play early, and I was like, what's early? And he was like, 7 a.m. I got a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old. I was like, I get that, but I don't get out of bed.
Yeah,
at 7 a.m.
And I sure don't do active stuff.
So what's the protocol here?
You tell him it's too early.
Too early.
Well, no, I told
That's too
him,
early for me.
But then he was like, okay, I'll switch my day around for you.
No,
We'll do 7:15.
No. Well, I mean, does it get in a time? Do you want to play?
I would like to play.
Okay, well, if he switches his day around to meet the time, then you go play with him. I mean, he's a grown man. That's his decision. If you try to discourage it and say, no, do not switch your day around for me. But if he does it anyway.
Yeah, he said he would. Like, I could make 9 work.
Well, if he does 9, I'd try to do it if I were you. Lunsford's got the gear. Lunsford, will you sell Lance your pickleball gear?
Sure. I'm not going to wake up that early to give it to you, though.
He's going to leave it out in the driveway.
We do the old, we call it the old Spina Saturday.
I'm not going to wake up that early. I could come get it tonight, Lunsford.
Do you need gear? Does this
No,
guy
I
have
asked
gear?
him. I was like, I don't have a racket. And he said, it's a paddle. And I'm like, what the hell am I getting into? It's a paddle?
Yeah, get it right.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I mean,
I've never even seen anybody
amateur.
play.
Typical am.
Now, somebody told me I can't, like slam over the net. See, I'm a net player in tennis because I've got a long wingspan.
Like a spike?
Yeah, why can't you spike it? Is that true?
I have no idea. I don't know the rules.
Well, that's a dumbass sport if you can't spike it.
Well, then don't go play.
Well, I mean, I need confirmation on that.
Yeah.
Somebody just told me that. I don't know if it's true or
I mean,
not.
Forrester says he'd much rather play early before it's hot as balls. And, I mean, what are we looking at Saturday? I don't think it's supposed to be that bad. Well, first of all, I think it's going to be raining. So I think Saturday morning is out for you.
See, rain this time of year, like rain when it's cold, I really just don't care because there's nothing to do anyway.
But this time of year sucks, yeah.
Yeah, like it handcuffs everything you can possibly do. Like, you're a golfer.
I know. You can't play.
But, like, I'd like to swim, play a little pickleball, maybe go to a brewery.
Tomorrow morning, just looking at the 3340 weather app here, 30% chance of rain. I mean, that's not too bad, but 70 degrees in the morning, 9 o'clock, 72 degrees, not going to be that bad out there. Now, what I told you about the rain ending for the Stallions game might not be entirely true.
So we are going to get rain tomorrow.
Yes. Well, I mean, there's a chance. There's a chance. We're supposed to get it today. I don't think it's rained yet here, but, in other places it does. So, I mean, if he moves the time, I think you're now obligated to do it. Like if he calls and says, hey, I told my wife 9 o'clock she's good with it, you're obligated to play at that point.
Well, yeah, but if he says I will move the time, I'm not obligated because if I don't agree upon
not
it.
until he moves it. But once he moves
then it's pressure.
Oh, no, it's 100% pressure. Scotty Scheffler, if you are just joining us, is on the course at 1 under par today. He is on the court. Was that him?
That was about a 50-foot putt.
For an eagle?
He just missed.
He's on the course at 1 under par. I think that was for birdie, actually.
Okay, wide right by about an inch.
Yeah. And if you've missed everything today, if you've been under a rock, Scotty Scheffler was arrested this morning. And I know as I say those words, you're like, whoa, Brown, what?
You almost want to do a disclaimer before.
I know. So Scott is showing you the video from Jeff Darlington, who, by the way, We haven't talked about this. Jeff Darlington just, I guess, was randomly out there and got the video of the year in the golf world.
Yeah, at that time of morning, like this, it's probably been viewed by 30 million people, I'm guessing.
No telling.
And the interesting thing is, you get Scheffler turning around asking, like, Jeff Darlington, a guy he watches on Sunday morning for his updates on fantasy, can you help me?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is Jeff Darlington going to do?
Well, and he was trying, like, there's audio of this. We're showing you the video. There's trying where it sounds like Darlington's trying to tell the police officers who they have in custody. And
a little bit of a mistake here, fellas.
Yeah, and the police officers, according to Jeff Darlington, come back to him with a pad and pen and say, can you give me the name of the person we just arrested?
Tiger Woods.
He says, I don't know how he answered it. I probably would have said, world number one golfer, Scotty Scheffler, on his way to playing the PGA Championship. That's who you just arrested.
You would think that if you're going to be on site and you're working it, that you would maybe know a little bit about
do you think you would recognize Scotty Scheffler? There's the mugshot for those of you watching us.
Well, I mean, look, if let's just say hypothetically, because we've had did we have a U.S. Open or PGA Championship?
We had a PGA Championship, two of them, two PGA Championships.
Yeah, at Shoal Creek.
Yeah, you're walking around in Birmingham.
Yes,
you think you'd recognize Scotty Scheffler.
Now, if I'm in Chicago in August and I walk into a restaurant and he's sitting at the bar of the table, I would not recognize him.
So, unfortunately, there was a fatality of a pedestrian that was struck and killed, and it had created a traffic snafu. Now, what Scotty Scheffler did is independent of that. The connecting thread there is the traffic. The PGA of America, according to many reports, had reached out to Louisville police and said, hey, we get that there's a bad traffic issue. Can our players at least get in? And they said as long as they show their credentials, they'll get in. What happened from that point on, if you read Scotty Scheffler's attorney's statement and the police report, two totally different stories here. So, we'll find out what happened. But Scotty Scheffler was arrested and given multiple charges. He's on the course at 1 under par. All of that aside, we've talked about all of that. You can go back and watch criminal defense attorney Tommy Spina start the show with us and do 30 minutes on it. It was an incredible morning reacting to it on social media. An absolutely incredible morning. Scott has curated some of the tweets. Scott just let them roll and we'll react to them. I love when people are creative on social media. This is PFT Commenter, who is a character. If this was Augusta, they would have already dug a tunnel from Butler Cabin to the jail and broken Scotty's ass out like he was El Chapo. Fantastic. He goes on to say, going to be off Twitter for a bit this afternoon, but if Scotty Scheffler misses a 3-foot putt, will someone please post the video and caption, the longest yard? Thanks.
It's pretty good.
I mean, that guy is super creative. All right, Scott, what we got next? That guy is super creative and funny. The El Chapo put it over the top for me, by the way. I saw this one this morning. It legit made me laugh out loud. I do not know who wrote this. Will Bardwell says, if you think this was reckless driving and criminal mischief, just wait until Spieth tees off.
I love it.
What we got next, Scott? In case you're unfamiliar with Spieth's golf, Spieth can be all over the map sometimes. This one was phenomenal. It's a tweet that says, ESPN.com is reporting Scheffler is on his way to Valhalla from Adam Schefter. Bunky Perkins replies, they gave him the death penalty? If you know your Greek mythology, that is a phenomenal tweet by Bunky Perkins. They gave him the death penalty. This is a tweet showing all the evidence that Louisville police had from Scotty Scheffler. It's everything that is in Scotty's bag.
Is that the right number of clubs?
Yeah, it should be 14 clubs. I have not counted, but if it's not, he's going to get another charge added on. What is next? You see frequently those evidence things laying out what they found in the car. That's what they found in Scotty Scheffler's car. Up next, this is all Twitter reaction today to Scotty Scheffler. I've gotten behind here somehow, Scott. I'm sorry. I'm trying to read it from my screen. Scotty Scheffler, winner after false imprisonment, was plus $2 billion. OMG, this has a chance.
I mean, really, if we're sitting around yesterday and I'm like, hey, I will give you Scheffler to play under in his round and be arrested in the same day, what would the odds be?
About what they showed right there, plus however many that is. We can go next one, Scott. The chat room wants me to update Norse mythology, not Greek mythology.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, geeks.
It is Vikings.
Tour junkies. Scotty on the first tee this morning, and he's already got the teardrop tattoo. If he had any comedic timing at all, he would have just painted one on his face and not said a word. The teardrop tattoo. I've been in prison. I've got the teardrop tattoo. Steve says in the chat room, go ahead, Scott. Steve says in the chat room, the Bunky Perkins tweet got me good. The one about Spieth was really good. All right, see if anybody catches this one. Photo Scott had from earlier today of the arresting officer. For those that don't know, it's Rory McIlroy.
Yeah, not a great one.
Oh, you didn't like that one. Scott liked that one. Okay, sorry.
So hokey.
This one is. You like this one?
This has got TNT all over it.
Absolutely, this is TNT. Scotty Scheffler in the white club car golf car.
Come on, man.
With LAPD chasing him from the OJ scene. That was a good one right there. I had that one. I like that one. We got Johnny Cochran now making an appearance. Johnny Cochran, famous from the OJ trial, criminal defense attorney. If he's next on the tee, he must be set free.
Perfect.
Thank you, Mark Davis.
What was your tweet?
Oh, the one Andrew was referencing?
Yep.
What did I say? I have to go back and look at it. I forgot what I actually said. Give me 2 seconds. I'll pull it up. I said earlier today, I painted a movie scene. This was like right when I woke up, I saw Jeff Darlington's report. It was the first report that he had been arrested. And I said, Greg Norman walks in a dimly lit room and says, Scotty, we can make all this disappear like nothing ever happened. All you got to do is sign this little contract right here, Scotty. I mean, you think if Liv had been like, we make all this disappear.
I mean, if Scheffler was the one that ran over the pedestrian, maybe. But
yeah,
you really wonder internally how he is, because this is a guy that just had his first kid.
Right.
He's coming off winning another major championship, and there wasn't pressure on him. You know, I mean, Schauffele had the round of the century yesterday. But, you know, just image-wise, like, you know, we're laughing about it. I don't think this is any big deal at all. We had Tommy Spina, who thinks this thing, he was overcharged, just being overblown. Everything's going to go away. But a guy like that has such a sterling reputation, you wonder if it does beat him up.
Well, yeah, I mean, it has to. You don't want even if it was just a misunderstanding in all parties, there are going to be people that walk away from this story and they never get the update, and they're going to assume Scotty Scheffler ran over a police officer.
Well,
yeah, I mean, that's what they're going to assume.
And people will continue to post that mugshot.
That's right, forever.
It'll be everywhere. Yeah.
Forever. Like, I am looking right now. It's just too quick for, Scott to get it up. I'll show you, though. I'm looking right now at two guys walking around Valhalla today.
They've already got the T-shirts.
There's a T-shirt with Scheffler's mugshot on it, and then Rockstar, the T-shirt. You remember Prison Mike from The Office?
Yeah, the Dementors.
Yeah, it's Scheffler's face with the Prison Mike blue bandana on his head.
You would be the belle of the ball.
Oh, that's such a good line, by the way. And everybody cringes and walks out of the meeting.
How in the heck can you turn around a tee that quick?
I don't know. We get them out pretty quick. That one right there is really quick. I mean, we're just a few hours after it happened. But, I mean, there are going to be people that think, he thinks he's above the law. Like, I already saw that on Twitter today. Like, well, Scotty Scheffler thought he was above the law. You don't know what happened there. I mean, nobody knows the full story here. I mean, maybe one day it will come out. Maybe there's video of it.
So I had a friend that you guys know. We were at the Guns N' Roses concert in 1991 out at the Birmingham Racecourse, Skid Row Guns N' Roses. And he actually hit a pedestrian. And it was such a wild night. Like, I wasn't with him. He was with a different crowd that night. Right. We were all meeting up. But I just remember it was the night my Jordans got stolen because I fell in the mud, all that kind of stuff. But the next morning, like, getting an update of everything that happened. Oh, and he was arrested for running somebody over in somebody else's Jeep. But my point was going to be, like, if that was me or you, I wouldn't be surprised if they let you go at the scene. And I'm not talking about running somebody over. I'm talking about if you would have been Scotty Scheffler. Like, okay, misunderstanding here.
Yeah.
This is not the way, we had some miscommunication, but we're going to let you go.
Well, there has been a pedestrian death earlier in the day. So I'm sure everybody is on high alert, and the police have been told, hey, look, this is a bad situation. So, y'all make sure everything's locked down properly. A police officer's out at 5 a.m. It's raining. People are probably laying on the horns yelling because traffic is completely stopped. I mean, I'm sure he's probably pretty, on edge, right? And Scotty Scheffler, according to the reports, swings out of traffic because there's a broken down bus in the lane he's supposed to be in that the police officers told him, you get in this lane and you can go in. He swings out into a lane that's got oncoming traffic, and this police officer sees him. He probably thinks it's, some idiot that's got VIP passes that's trying to get to his VIP box early. I mean, yeah, I could see how this gets blown up way out of proportion.
Well, I was on 2059.
I don't know what happened after that.
I meant to ask Spina this. I was on 2059 last night, and there was an accident, and it was backed up. It was probably backed up 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
But there is a dude on my right. I was in the far right lane, and he's in the emergency lane, and he is just flying by everything. And I just wonder what the charge is. Is that probably reckless driving? Do they take you to jail?
I don't know.
Because, I don't know if you've ever been in one of those backup situations, and you look on the shoulder, and you're like, damn, it's wide open.
I can get to the next exit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I've done that. Yeah. 100% I've done that.
But I just wonder what the charge is.
I generally,
I guarantee somebody in our listening audience right now has been arrested for that.
I generally let somebody do it first, and then I get over in the emergency lane a little bit to watch them to make sure I can get all the way to the exit, because there's a walk of shame involved if I get to like a bridge and I can't move forward.
And everybody hates you.
Everybody hates you, and now I got to get back in traffic. So I make sure they can get to the exit first, and then I go do it. I'm going to the exit, officer. I'm just going I'm trying to help you guys out. I'm getting off the road.
Yeah, it's different if you're trying to get a mile or two and then dive back into traffic. Would you ever let anybody back into traffic?
No. I as I said yesterday, if I'm just in the left lane and it's backed up and this guy comes and flies up in the right lane, I don't even let him in the left lane, much less off the emergency lane back into traffic. Not going to happen. Hey, if you've had any sort of injury in your athletic career, no matter how big or small, Precision Sports Medicine can help you get back in the game. PrecisionSportsOrtho.com is where you can find one of the great doctors they have. I've got a friend that just had shoulder surgery. He's trying to get back in golf, and he's talking about everything he's had to do by the book. You want to make sure you got a good doctor there, right? This guy loves playing golf. He wants to make sure he can get back on the golf course as quickly as he can. Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, that's who you want to trust with injuries like that. 205-512-3885. That's 205-512-3885. PrecisionSportsOrtho.com. I wonder how many, I wouldn't imagine a ton, because it's only streaming right now. It's not even on ESPN. You got to be ESPN Plus. But how many just casuals tune in to watch Scotty Scheffler play today just based on this?
I would think some would, yeah. People that did not plan on watching any golf today.
Yeah,
just there's
to see what the guy does.
T-shirts that you referenced.
Oh,
earlier.
yeah, Scott got them up quick. So you've got Scotty Scheffler. That's his legit mugshot. You said that's going to follow him forever. It's already following him, and he's not even finished his first round.
Yeah, I would recognize him more in the beard now than the fresh-faced prison Mike.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, it is that will follow him forever. And apparently, some reports from inside the clubhouse today, he was already making good-natured jokes about it. But you know how it is. Like, if that happened to one of us, we would rib each other endlessly.
Well,
that's a workplace.
We've told
the
story, and I know Rockstar remembers this well, but back in 2007, Ian came to pick me up on a Friday morning.
Yep.
And ran a stop sign.
You don't know what it's like in cell box league. I've been there, man. When they put those cuffs on, it becomes real.
He
real
pulls
quick.
in my yard, and the next thing I know, a cruiser pulls behind him. And I walk out to see what's going on, and he's cuffed, literally cuffed in my front yard on a Friday morning like he's a hardened criminal. And he had an outstanding warrant in Tuscaloosa on a bounce check from a Chinese restaurant from more than a decade before for like $13. And so they take him, they extradite him all the way to Tuscaloosa. So I go on the air that Friday, and me and Rocky were like, Ian decided to go to the beach a day early. And by like an hour, and this is 2007, this is 17 years ago.
Yeah.
An hour in,
this
his
is before social media.
mugshot,
Yes.
and it was one of the worst mugshots ever. And he said he purposely did it. I don't think he did.
Of course. It's Kansas State gear on.
He did. He had his Kansas State coaching shirt on that his brother Devin, who was on Bill Snyder's staff then, had given him. But within an hour, it was in 2007 already online. And then I remember he did Feinbaum later that day and was having some fun with it. But boy, this stuff gets out quickly.
It does. I will never forget Dunaway and I out doing the our show. This is before we were with Lance, obviously.
I'm sure Dunaway was wishing, hey, man, are they finally done? Will this get them off the air?
Our show from the SEC baseball tournament.
Guarantee that came out of his mouth.
From the baseball, well, we were on the air, so it's kind of hard to say that. But from the baseball tournament, and somebody sent me the mugshot of Fitzy. But here's the crazy part about it. Like, people are like, the story is bounce check. But it's a deeper story than that. When it all comes, it was one of those, when it all comes out, you'll know. Like, there were all these rumors surrounding it. Like,
I never got to hear any of these.
I don't even know what the theories were. I just know people were already saying that kind of thing. Like, I'm sure that's the true story.
The nefarious Ian Fitzsimmons. Bounce to check at Mr. Wang's.
Yeah, but that's why. I mean, there are a lot of people out there. We overlook this because of what we do for a living. They don't have any clue who Scotty Scheffler is. This will be their introduction to Scotty Scheffler, right?
It was for me when y'all sent the text. I was like, I have no idea who that is because there's no context to the story. And I was just like, I don't know who that guy is. I guess we know him somehow.
Bad programming, Brown. But is this one of the worst lies ever? I don't know who this guy is in a creek.
Yeah, well, he's playing out of a bed of rocks in a creek. Yeah, it's a tough lie.
I mean, that's one of those, if you're at the local club, you don't hit that, right?
Oh, no. You take the drop and move on. And hope that the drink cart comes by sometime soon.
I mean, it's really a great scene if you are watching the tournament right now because this dude's in the middle of a creek.
On a bed of rocks. I mean, he's lucky he's not in the water.
With some pretty steady downpour coming down in Valhalla.
Yeah, I believe that if I'm not mistaken, it's Cam Young who was in the group with Scotty Scheffler.
Oh, wow.
It's been a while.
Yeah, Young had a nice round yesterday.
Yeah, I believe that's who that is I'm just judging based on sight right there.
And I was going to play Cam Young, but I'd already played him,
Yeah. So I believe that's who that is, and he is in a bit of trouble. Or as Scotty might yell, you're in jail right now, aren't you? Johnston RV Center brings you the Mental Health Minute. We've made a lot of laughs today. We've made a lot of jokes today about things. We've had some laughs. Mental health, though, is one of those things that is still plaguing a lot of people.
Yeah, it really is. You know, I had a conversation with a really, really, really good friend of mine, and this was recently, and he shared a story with me. And I had no idea. And he told me this is the first time I've actually talked about this. And it really is a epidemic out there. And look, it's something you can't control. Anxiety disorders are the most common mental health issues in today's society. According to the report, Anxiety and Stress in the Workplace, over 40 million adults, or 19% of the population, suffer from anxiety. Anxiety rates are on the rise and impacting every aspect of your lives. It used to borderline cripple me. I don't think you guys knew that. I know it's affected some other people up here before, but I started to talk to some people in my close circle, reached out, saw a doctor. I get counseling, I try to once a month to talk to somebody. I think it's really important. May is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. We're going to be doing some podcasts. Dr. Brett McCabe, also our friend Nick Johnston is going to be involved with that. And Johnston RV is sponsoring our Mental Health Medical Minute.
I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. That's where you go. They've repriced both those lots. They are beating any price nationwide on a comparable RV. You bring them the RV price, they will beat it. That's how confident they are. I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. Also, they love the United States military the way we do on this show. It's what makes America the greatest country in the universe. No questions asked. The active duty military and retired military, the veterans, you get a great discount just as a small way of them saying thank you. JohnstonRVCenter.com, JohnstonRVCenter.com.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Stallions fans, your undefeated Birmingham Stallions are back at Protective Stadium this Saturday at 7 p.m. The Stallions take on the Houston Roughnecks for Hats Off to Heroes. Fans who purchase our Hats Off to Heroes ticket package will receive an exclusive camo hat. With only 2 home games left this season, don't miss your chance to cheer on your Birmingham Stallions. Let's pack Protective, Birmingham. Tickets start at just $10 and are available at theufl.com. That's theufl.com.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
You never know what we're up to here at the Next Round. The easiest way to stay in the know with our antics and adventures is to follow the Next Round across all social media platforms at Next Round Live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Whether it's Dunaway sleeping in the studio, Tim and Lunsford breaking down the latest movie release, or Game Day Chronicles, we are here to keep you updated on the latest sports news while, of course, having just a little bit of fun. Follow at Next Round Live across all platforms to join in.
Michelson Laser Vision. I do want to say this real quick before we go to Michelson Laser Vision. Every time, and I hope you know we see these, every time, I think every single time Lance does one of the mental health minutes, somebody in the chat room will comment either how much it's helped them or how much they've dealt with that or how much they appreciate us bringing light to it. So I want you to know we see that, and it does mean a lot that it's helping you guys, right? Or you've already sought help. But if you have sought help, tell someone else, and maybe someone else will do it too.
Well, I brought this up this week when I was talking to my friend that when we got back from Indianapolis, because they were like, will you dive a little bit deeper on the Indianapolis experience? And I was telling them, and I said, when we got in the parking lot, I gave both you and Dunaway a hug, and I said, hey, if you guys, I appreciate what you did for me over the last couple of days, but can we keep this amongst ourselves?
That's
I was
right.
embarrassed about it.
Yeah.
And when I was talking to this guy the other night, because he was like, I've never told anybody this, I really wish you'd keep it to yourself. And I get that, but I think that's kind of the stigma. And there's a lot of you guys that are you can't battle this alone. I'm telling you, it will continue to come back. It will rule your life. And you'll have some really, really bad thoughts. And it can really go up and down, and it can go down quickly. So my advice would be to, speaking from experience, really, really talk to somebody. You can get in front of this, and you can get control of it. I guarantee it.
So we do see that, and I appreciate it every time you guys say that. One NFL note after you tell us about Michelson Laser Vision.
Yeah, look, I got the procedure done over 2 decades ago. I remember my ex-wife, Bethany, was pregnant with Leighton, my first child. I remember that's when I went through the procedure. I was driving a Cadillac sedan DeVille. I had worn contacts. I didn't have any prescription glasses. You remember I backed into Herb Winch's car?
I wondered if that's why you brought up the Cadillac part.
So I had this long white Cadillac.
Herb was not happy.
And I was basically blind driving the thing around. And Herb had this brand new red Lexus.
Yep.
And I don't know why he would park it about 3 feet behind a utility pole.
He always parked at a utility pole, and I never understood that.
And it was sticking out. But I remember crushing the back of that thing, pulling out of jocks.
Terrible feeling.
And I remember going in there, and he just had a complete meltdown. His brand new red Lexus was all smashed up. But anyway, then I got my eyes fixed, and I've got 2015 vision, better than 2020. Long way to get to that. But call today, 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. Tell the Next Round sent you. Ask about the pre-inflation pricing. They're going to take care of you there. Michelson Laser Vision, Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. Speaking from experience, 205-969-8100 or online, michelsonlaservision.com.
I knew this would come at some point, and it is already being discussed now. Joe Burrow is the player who has put his name on it. The NFL has already talked about, and you knew this was going to happen when they went to 17 games, Lance. They were going to start doing the math and saying, well, now we got an even home and road. Let's even that up. Let's go to 18 games, right? I don't know many fans that would argue against this. It's more football. The other thing it does is it moves what you've always wanted to happen, the Super Bowl, if you go to 18 games potentially, to the Sunday before President's Day, which you've always liked that, to give America a day off after the Super Bowl.
I don't know anybody that doesn't watch the Super Bowl. And, and I've got, I've got two brothers, believe it or not, in the family. Me and Reed, obviously huge sports fans. Older brother Shane, youngest brother Cameron, not sports fans at all, but they watch the Super Bowl. Everybody watches the Super Bowl, so it's a celebratory time for our country. Can you imagine if everybody had a national holiday the following day? The Super Bowl parties and the excitement, the buzz would just be, it'd continue to go up.
And that would happen potentially unless something else changes, if you have 18 regular season games. Something else that could change is what Joe Burrow is talking about. And I've wondered when this will become a discussion. He says, Joe Burrow does, according to Pro Football Talk, in exchange for the 18 games, we as players would like a second bye week, which is a reasonable request, I think.
And I think you can still manage that schedule and still have it on President's Day.
Potentially, I guess. I don't know.
I think you can. And I do think there is an angle to even shortening or getting rid of the preseason.
Yeah, they're good. They already want to cut that down to 1 or 2 games.
I mean, how bad's college football week 1? I mean, it's not bad. It's not like you're like, oh, you see guys cramping.
Yeah.
But it's not like you're, oh, man, they can't execute this
That's
because
right, yeah.
they haven't had
Generally,
preseason
they're in pretty
football.
good shape, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think that's that big of a deal. I mean, I think there's going to be concessions made on both sides. One thing, I like going to 17 games. The one thing I didn't like is the uneven game out there. And like last year for the Rams, that uneven game was at Baltimore. And I'm like, how in the hell did we get sent to Baltimore in December, our one-off game? So you would get back to a even 18 games if you did it that way.
Yeah, so I think it's a reasonable request, though, from Joe Burrow and the players to say 18 games, we get it, but we need a second bye week. I mean, that is a lot to ask of a body to go through an 18-game NFL schedule with one bye week.
Oh, yeah, a ton.
Like, I mean, if you think about, I'll use my Dolphins for an example. They've got a bye week 6. That's an early bye in the NFL, week 6.
Way too early, by the way.
Way too early. Imagine an 18-game schedule. You've played 5 games. You get a bye week 6.
3 straight months.
You've got 13 remaining regular season games. You hope it's 14 or 15 or 16 more games.
Yeah, you played in the wild card. Or like, well, I mean, I guess if you went back, well, no, because you'd have to expand the playoffs.
But, I mean,
anyway,
you see what I'm saying, though? If you've got a bye week 6, I've played 5 games, I get my bye. I've got so much football left with no break.
Well, if you win a Super Bowl and you don't have home field advantage, you could play 4 consecutive months.
That's right. Yeah. With no break. I mean, that's a lot on an NFL body. That is a physical football game.
I guarantee Joe Burrow is not the first to say this, and I would think that this probably gets worked out. I think 2 byes, I think it makes a lot of sense. I know it's logistically, it's probably tough to maneuver, and if you want to keep it on that President's Day weekend, but they can figure out a way to do it. I think it's going to be ultimately getting rid of the preseason, which I don't think anybody's going to care.
Yeah, I think if you reduce the preseason, go to 18 games, give them 2 byes, I think you've got your perfect setup in the NFL. I would hope they would hit the brakes right there and say, okay, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, I think, look,
Forever.
18, no preseason, in the Super Bowl and President's Day weekend, ultimately get rid of international play, which I know they want. But I don't think you need to expand from 32 teams. I think 18, there's no way you could go over that. I think that ultimately is the perfect system.
I think you have found your perfect system if you're the NFL, if you could do that with the 2 byes. And I did wonder when the 2 byes would ever start being discussed, when they started adding the games. See, I always said, like, where they are right now, if they just added the second bye without adding in more games,
you could still do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could have the President's Day Super Bowl that you've always wanted just by doing that. I just think that is asking so much of an NFL body to go through that much football without a second bye. I think Joe Burrow's right. And this guy's been injured a lot, too. So,
one of the things you worry about is, and I would have said you would have never said this in basketball, and I know it's apples to oranges, but do you think you start to get load management with some of these guys that –
it's funny. I almost brought it up with Buster.
It sounds so stupid.
No, it does.
Though.
But I almost brought it up with Buster. One of his colleagues wrote about it in baseball right now. The baseball has looked at the NBA model, and they're starting to talk about load management.
And the unfortunate thing there is, you hear about guys, and this is get off my lawn, but like Bob Gibson, guy was never on a pitch count, and now you've got guys that are making $50 to $60 million. And, from the NBA to, guys getting days off, it just, I don't know, it's a different world.
Yep, it really is. This is a very Dunaway would applaud this segue. Hey, what those guys need is Hydrolife. I mean, like if they're, they don't need the second bye week if they've got Hydrolife. Keep those fluids in their body, right?
Well, I was telling Dunaway we were talking about getting some bags up here in studio yesterday. That is probably going to be at some point next week. But Hydrolife, you're getting ready for a big weekend. Make sure you are well hydrated. Our friends at Hydrolife, they can handle that for you. IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, compression therapy. It's all under one roof. Boost that immune system with Hydrolife therapy. IV therapy treatments packed with nutrients to increase energy, reduce stress and anxiety, boost your immune system, and much more. Check on the memberships. You can basically have that thing recouped within one visit. Hydrolife Therapy open 9 to 6 every single day. 2 locations for you in our area, the original in Homewood. There is now one on Highway 119 in Greystone. HydrolifeTherapy.com for more information. Very important when you're in one of those 2 locations. Any of these services, mention the next round, 20% off from our friends at Hydrolife Therapy.
All right, coming up in the next hour, it's loaded. We've got 4 downs. Good celebrity birthdays?
Yeah, we have celebrity birthdays.
We got celebrity birthdays. Maybe not good ones. We've got trash. We've got Rockstar in the Flora-Bama Lounge. A lot to get to, and one more hour of the next round.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late-night bites. Only at Twin Peaks.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
When on YouTube, you constantly hear requests to please like and subscribe. Well, here at Disrupt Media, we aren't going to play that game. Those demands are frankly outdated. So we just want you to hit like or subscribe. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure novel. Pick a path, hit like, or hit subscribe. It's your call. We don't care which, just pick one. Or go to Roll Tide Pods and do it. Or War Damn Pods. Or the Disrupt Media YouTube channel. Or The Meltdown. Just make a decision and stick with it. Like or subscribe, the choice is yours.
Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemp Hill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention the next round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemp Hill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemp Hill Services. It's hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com. That's 205-229-2090, hemphillservices.com.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Rockstar, I don't even know what's said in this cut. Can you give me cut number 2?
Hey, while he's
cut
doing
number
that,
2. I don't even know what's said
is
here,
this
but I'm
on
going to respond.
Scheffler?
No, it is not on
Okay,
Scheffler
well,
at
let me
all.
bring up one thing.
All
Do
right.
you think when you watch the ticker now on ESPN?
Which one am I watching? Am I watching the live betting odds? Or?
The one with Van Pelt.
Okay.
And David Duvall.
Yep.
But David Duvall gained his weight back, didn't he?
He did. Yesterday, his sport coat was screaming for relief, and today he said, you know what, I'm not going to button the button while I sit down.
I'm going to go up a size.
Well, he just left the button unbuttoned.
I sent Forrester a picture, and we're gonna do this next week. But Dunaway said he can tell Ozempic or not.
Right.
And so I saw a celebrity today. I sent it to Forrester. And Ozempic or not coming next week.
Has the celebrity said whether or not they've done Ozempic?
I don't know. The first time I saw an interview this morning with him, and I screen grabbed it just where I could send it up, and I forgot Dunaway was out, so we'll do it next week. But that's the way it's running on the ticker. And I know they're reporting the news, but when you see the ticker that he's arrested and it lays out all these different charges, for just a casual fan, they're like, damn, this guy's guilty.
Yes, this guy's guilty. He must still be in jail. Oh, no, he's making the turn. And you're like, holy crap, he's already out and playing? By the way, I would have never even known this was a story. But Marty Smith doing reporting now. Marty was the guy, Rockstar. We'll have to get Marty on next week because Marty was the guy that ESPN, they brought Jeff Darlington in to do all the reporting. And they told Marty, you just wait on Scheffler to show up. So Marty is standing at the clubhouse door when Scheffler pulls up. And Scheffler gets out of his courtesy car, and Marty says, Scotty, do you have any comment on the events today? And you know what Scheffler's comment was? I love you, Marty.
All right, buddy.
All right, buddy. Hit him straight. That is perfect for Marty there. Rockstar had brought this up. I was unaware this was even a story. I get these news alerts on my phone, right? And it's random headlines. 99% of the time I don't click on them, but sometimes they bait me in. And I'm like, I got to see the story here. And Rockstar had tipped us off on this when we were talking about it. The headline I get, Rockstar literally says, Kelly Clarkson finally comes clean. Her weight loss not due to Ozempic.
Yeah, she had said, again.
But it comes clean. I'm like, why does it even matter?
Because people are upset because, let's say, Brown, you've lost 30 pounds in the past 2 months. It's what are you doing? I'm just exercising. I've been walking a lot more. I've been watching my weight. And you find out that, well, I've been giving myself an injection to curb my appetite. Well, they think like she's telling her audience, I'm guessing, like, guys, you got to exercise and eat right. I'm like, well, you're kind of cheating the system, and now you've lied to us.
Okay, but I don't think it's a big deal if you tell people like, hey, I'm taking Ozempic right now.
Because I think people think that I'm cheating, that I'm trying, like I'm taking the easy way. I don't need to exercise.
I mean, for somebody like one of us three who can capably exercise, I think it is a lazier way to lose weight. I know there's some people that can't necessarily lose weight. Yeah. They can't physically do certain things. And there's some people that, are 150 pounds overweight and they need to do it. I do think there's different examples. The Ozempic or not, I'll show you guys next week. This would be a lazy example to me. If, in fact, and it's a guy, if this guy is taking Ozempic instead of just losing weight the old-fashioned way.
The biggest thing I can see celebrity-wise is people that, like you initially, I just want to lose 10 to 15 pounds. Then you see they're coming off, like Jonah Hill, awful. I mean, the guy is, it's creepy how skinny
he was better fat.
Yeah, but he's just like uncomfortable. It's like, just stop doing it.
Yeah. But there again, I just don't know why anybody gets wound up about how somebody's losing weight. If they're exercising, if they're taking Ozempic, if they're on a crash diet, it's their business. Why do I care?
Are there certain people that you will never see skinny though? Like I never thought that the Meghan Trainor chick who always talked about her body and stuff, then she got really skinny. Like Lizzo, if Lizzo ever got skinny, like I think you go on and shut the door and you're like, it's anybody can get skinny.
Yeah, I know you're absolutely right about that. But I mean, literally,
and I'm just saying because she embraces being a big girl.
There are 7 billion things I care more about than how Kelly Clarkson lost her weight. And I just saw the headline, and Rockstar had brought it up. I'm like, it is just absurd she's having to make this statement. All right, so every day we get a cut sheet, right? We get a cut sheet. Tyler and Scott and Rockstar do a tremendous job of getting all this together. I don't even know what this is going to say. So we're all going to see this for the first time together because I didn't get to watch Elephant in the Room. It is Mick Gillespie and former Alabama quarterback Jake Coker, who in our preview screen is pounding a Bud Light.
He is pounding a Bud Light, which I'm about to pour my first on this Friday afternoon.
All the thing says right here, all it says is, should the SEC get rid of Vanderbilt? I don't know why Jake Coker and Mick Gillespie want the SEC to get rid of Vanderbilt. Maybe they don't. Here is Elephant in the Room. Let's see what they say.
Maybe for the SEC, you trade out Vanderbilt and they go into a conference with Duke, Wake Forest, and those type of schools. And then, you get Florida State or something like that. I mean, I'm just saying what would make sense because Vanderbilt's not competitive even a little bit.
I should push Vanderbilt out, honestly.
They choose not to be competitive. They make it to where they can't recruit because they've set their standards so high that they're not going to be able to get the best athletes in. They haven't invested in the facilities, but they're getting the money for it. Their team stinks. You guys suck. I mean, you've made sucking kind of like your thing, except when Franklin was there. But you're still getting the same amount of TV revenue and conference money as everybody else. If you came in, you're in Nashville. Yeah. You came in and invested in putting the right facility in, and the NIL money that you guys could raise that a lot of other places couldn't raise. Vanderbilt could be a pretty good program really fast. But that's not what they want to do.
See, I actually agree with what Mick said there. I said this on the show one time. I think it was like some future prediction about a team that could get good. And I said Vanderbilt because one day, and I don't know if they'll ever do this, Lance, but one day if they said, all right, we're a really good academic institution, but we're not going to worry about that in terms of football. If you're a good football player, we'll look the other way and let you in. We don't care what it does to our reputation. And we're going to take all this money we've gotten from the SEC and we're going to build a really nice stadium and good facilities in that city. That could be a tremendous football program if they ever did those things.
For the Big Ten and the Pac-12, the Rose Bowl was the granddaddy of them all. I have seen Northwestern and Stanford both play in that game recently, or somewhat recently. I mean, you got to go back to the 90s for Northwestern. But Stanford really recently, when Christian McCaffrey just completely skull-drug Iowa by himself. My point is, for the SEC, that was always the Sugar Bowl. I can't even imagine a day when Vanderbilt would be in a Sugar Bowl. But if you got the right coach and you did put some of those resources back into the program, again, the numbers, apples to oranges, when you're talking about baseball right now and how good Tim Corbin has had that program. But the right guy comes along, Vanderbilt could be competitive.
Yeah.
Now, the problem is academically.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah, I think we're past. I was talking to our friends Chip and Zay and Austin yesterday, and I was like, I'm to the point now where I used to think it was kind of cool that you could be like a guy that would do both, and guys graduating in 3 or 4 years, getting their degree, really don't care anymore. Like if you got somebody behind the computer taking classes for them, it's not going to shock me. It doesn't bother me. But Vanderbilt is one of those institutions. And look, and this is great for them. They're never going to give up what they have instilled academically.
Like when they, like if they were to take the Power Five and rank them on who does the U.S. News and World Report? Are they the ones that do that collegiate ranking that everybody champions?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, I'm looking at you. I don't know why. U.S. News and World Report, and they do their collegiate ranking. If we took the group of the Power Five, Power Four, and we rank them in order of where they are in the U.S. News and World Report, I'm fairly confident I could get the top 5 or 6. Like I would go Vandy, Duke, Northwestern, maybe out. Who am I missing? Vandy, Duke, Northwestern.
Michigan.
I don't know if I'd go Michigan. Top 5 of the Power 5? You think they're top 5?
Academically?
Yeah.
I think they could be.
They could be, but if I had to absolutely...
I think
I might go Wake Forest.
I don't know. Cal has got to be up there. I mean, Pac-12, Big Ten.
Stanford. I put Stanford in.
Yeah, I thought you did.
No, I did not.
Northwestern, Vanderbilt.
Stanford, Northwestern, Vanderbilt, Duke. Those are my 4, and then I need one more that I'm confident is top 5.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I think you can go a variety of directions. I think Michigan would be in the conversation. So let me ask you this, though. If you were a young, offensive, respected coach, how long, if we're doing a draft, where does Vanderbilt come when we're talking about the Power 4?
Daniel got my other one, Virginia, by the way. I think I'd go Virginia. Yeah, I think I'd go Virginia. That's my top 5. Stanford, Duke, Northwestern, Vandy, Virginia. That's my top 5 academic institutions that I think would be top 5 U.S. News World Report. Then after that, y'all can fight over the rest. I don't care.
Yeah,
but I don't care that those are the top 5. I'm just saying I think I could get those top 5.
But those are going to be towards the bottom of this draft. Like if
I'm picking programs?
Well, if you've got, how many teams do we have now in the 4?
60 something?
Yeah. Let's just say that we're picking 1 through 60.
Those I just mentioned, I don't even have on my draft board.
Where do you think the very last pick would be? I mean, is Vanderbilt a possibility?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, though, with the SEC money in the market.
Well, that's true. So I'm owning that program, basically.
Would you rather have the Iowa State job or the Vanderbilt job?
Iowa State. I think it's easier to win in the Big 12 at Iowa State than it is in the SEC at Vandy.
God, it's just amazing when you think about a program that probably. Well, let me ask you.
I don't know what Clark Lee gets paid. I've seen it's a private school.
So is this the first year you would rather have Vanderbilt than Oregon State or Washington State?
Probably so. Yeah. I think we're probably there now. At least you got a home if you're at Vanderbilt. But, I mean, Clark Lee was the king of the worst timing of all time. He'd be the Notre Dame head coach today if he'd have stayed one more year when Brian Kelly took the LSU job. Instead, he's the Vanderbilt coach, and he's not going to survive. You just can't. You can't win there.
Yeah, back to
I like how quickly Jake just threw him out of the conference.
Mick Gillespie's point, though, the headline on...
They don't even try.
No, they don't.
Headline today was Scotty Scheffler arrested. On ESPN.com. Would that trumpet if we had the trade? Florida State has now been traded to the SEC for Vanderbilt.
I love a good Friday news dump. We're going to trade Vanderbilt, a founding member of the Southeastern Conference, for Florida State. I do like how Gillespie.
Would Vanderbilt even care?
No, I don't think they would know. I like how Mick did create the Geek Conference, though. Did you notice real quickly? Just put them in a conference with Wake Forest and Duke and Vandy.
We can't give them an auto, though, to the 12-team playoff.
No. All right, it's time for Champy's is bringing you this hour before we go to Four Downs. Champy's world-famous fried chicken. The store is open there for Sterling. They've opened the doors. The PGA Championship on TV. Go down there and enjoy some of that great cooking. The great chicken fingers, Mississippi Delta tamales, the wonderful po' boys, great drinks. Megan at the bar will get you a marg, and you can watch some PGA Championship and some day baseball down with Sterling at Champy's world-famous fried chicken, champy'schicken.com, champy'schicken.com. Rockstar hit it. It is Four Downs, presented by Slice, and we start with...
First down.
You squeeze me worse than Dunaway here.
We got all the time in the world.
Okay, let me figure out. These are all celebrity birthdays.
I got stuck on the Vandy thing.
The way we want to go. Okay, Keon Coleman. I cannot believe he made this list. And by the way, he was higher than a lot of these other celebrities.
Buffalo Bills receiver now.
Second round pick.
Yeah.
More receiving yards this year. Keon Coleman with the Buffalo Bills or Ryan Williams with Alabama?
More receiving yards?
Yes.
Well, you've got the upheaval with no Stephon Diggs there for Buffalo. So, I mean, that's a lot of receiving yards that have to fall somewhere. But generally, rookies are not going to get... I think I'd go Ryan Williams here. I think I'd go Ryan Williams at Alabama.
I think it's going to be really tight. I think
Ryan Williams could be Alabama's number one.
Yeah, it could be a 1,000-yard guy. But I think Keon Coleman, if he stays healthy and learns this offense with Josh Allen, he's going to be their deep threat. So, I think I'm going to lean Keon Coleman.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there. Yeah.
Second down.
Matt Ryan. 39 years old today. Better career, Matt Ryan or Matt Williams?
Matt Williams, the former third baseman?
Yeah. Well, one of the more unlikable players because, I don't like the Giants, but was a really good player. Just seemed like a dick.
Well, that was an unlikable team, though, right? Because nobody liked Will Clark, did they?
Nope.
Nobody liked Will Clark at first. You had Ryan Williams at third. There was another guy on there that I remember people disliking. That was pre-Barry Bonds with the Giants. He was still with the Pirates then. I'm trying to remember who it was.
So Matt Williams, just because I'm one of those. I believe if Matt Ryan would have held on to the 28-3 lead, he's a Hall of Famer. I don't know if he gets in now. He's got really good numbers and former MVP. But Matt Williams is a guy that hit 378 home runs.
Right. Do you remember Matt Williams? Do you remember this about him that he used to touch his chin on his shoulder before every swing?
5-time All-Star, World Series champion, 4 Gold Gloves, 4 Silver Sluggers.
Yeah, he could play the hot corner.
Home run leader in 94.
I am going to go Matt Williams over Matt Ryan.
Manager of the year in 2014.
Yeah, I'm going to go Matt Williams.
I'm going to go Matt Ryan just because I like him more.
Yeah.
But I think it's toss-up.
Yeah, I think I'll go Matt Williams here.
Third down.
Bob Saget, who we had in studio.
Yeah.
And I was over at Jack and Layton's yesterday.
I saw that today. Will be his birthday.
Jack's got his picture with Bob Saget on their fridge.
He was really an incredibly nice guy when he was on with us.
He was. Would have been 68. Better career, though, Bob Saget or Bob Barker?
Were you on remote or something?
No, you guys were.
We were at the auto show, right? Or something like that, yeah. And you had stayed back at studio.
And I stayed back just because Jack was going to beat Bob Saget.
Yeah, okay. All right, so Bob Barker or Bob Saget, better career?
Yep.
Bob Barker.
Oh, Saget had a comedic career where he's a dirty comedian, became a successful, clean Full House sitcom actor.
But
and
never
then
cleaned up his act.
Started hosting America's Funniest
That's
Home
what
Videos.
I was going to say.
Right. Yeah,
what was
true.
more popular, America's Funniest Home Videos?
That was amazing. Every
Or
Sunday
Full
night.
House?
And
or,
it's still
or
on.
Price is Right.
Again, well, I was going to say if you take away Bob Barker, the show still remains. But same thing with America's Funniest Home Videos. You take away Bob Saget, people are still going to tune in.
Do you know who my little one loves America's Funniest Home Videos? You know who hosts it now? Do you know? I know
Carlton.
Rockstar probably does.
Nick Cannon.
No. Do you-
Alfonso Ribeiro?
Alfonso Ribeiro.
No.
And he is so over the top.
Well, you have to be. The worst thing was, I don't know if does Ribeiro still do the thing that Saget does, where it's like a dog. Saget did all the voices, like, "Oh, I'm here. I'm going to push this rock and everything." Saget did all the voicings for the videos too.
See, I would rather just watch when we go to Walk-Ons. What do we watch? Not
Chive TV.
Chive TV.
No, Chive TV is. My little one loves that.
Because they're all over the place with wild
She thinks
stuff.
it's hilarious. As Morgan says, Bob Barker was on TV 50 years. And
Saget would have been.
Yeah.
So Pat Sajak too. I mean, there's people that.
But I mean, Bob Barker is an easy top 5 game show host, if not number 1.
Yeah, but I think Bob Saget much more talented.
Maybe so. I mean, you don't.
Would you rather interview Bob Barker or Bob Saget?
Bob Barker.
Really?
Yeah. If Bob Barker were alive, if both were alive, and I've interviewed Saget, so this is hard to say. I'd probably rather interview Bob Barker.
I would rather interview Saget just because I know he would be really transparent and he would go in a lot of different directions. I don't think Barker would. Like if Barker would answer anything honestly, it would have been incredible because, I mean, how many of those girls?
I mean, well, there were some lawsuits,
the
right?
Showcase girls.
Yeah, the Showcase Showdown girls.
And the ironic thing was
Barker's Beauties.
What would Bob Barker say at the end of all those shows?
Spay your pets.
Pets.
And he was heading backstage.
I know. He was nuts. I'm gonna go Bob Barker.
4th down.
Hey, this is so random. I think Rockstar is going to love this, though. We've got one of our weekly guests on this.
Oh, no.
So Trent Reznor.
He's not a weekly guest.
59 years old. He has done a great transition from 9 Inch Nails to his collaborations with
movie scores.
Yeah, with David Fincher. Fantastic stuff. Better career, though. Trent Reznor or Super Bowl champion UAB coach Trent Dilfer?
Trent Reznor. I'm going to ask you. I would ask you personally. Well, I don't know if both of y'all would answer the same thing. Would you rather have a Super Bowl ring or an Oscar?
Super Bowl ring.
Really?
Yeah.
If I was a quarterback, Super Bowl ring.
That's true.
Yeah.
If I'm the long snapper, that's a
if
little
I'm
bit
the
different.
long snapper, I can have a best supporting actor.
This is easy. Super Bowl quarterback ring or best actor Oscar. I mean, that's the equivalent. I'm the quarterback or I'm the best actor.
Well, with him, it's not like best original sound. Like it's like best score.
Here's what I would say though: if I'm best actor, I'm probably minimum getting. If I win a Best Actor Oscar, I'm probably getting 5 roles that are $20 million plus.
The next film is the big paycheck.
You say that, but I mean, you look at guys like Adrian Brody, you look at Jeffrey Rush.
Jamie Foxx won Best Actor for Ray. The next film he did was Stealth, about that stealth bomber.
Was that a winner?
Next film, that was like his follow-up to his Oscar winning
I
role.
think that's the most important career decision you make as an actor after you win that first one. If you're not a mainstream guy like Leonardo, when he won his first with The Revenant, he was so established he could pick his scripts.
Was there a chance though that Jamie Foxx had already agreed to that role before he won the Best Actor?
There's a chance.
Most likely, but just still like that's your follow-up to your Oscar wins.
No, it
Stealth
sucks.
Bomber with Jessica Biel.
Yeah,
I like Nine Inch
Jessica Biel,
Nails,
though.
and Reznor does some of the best scores in cinema right now. So I'm going to go Reznor.
It's so weird you said Jessica Biel. I was at a golf course this week. I know that does not shock anyone.
She was not there.
No,
she
but
was your
there
cart
was a girl that looked so much like her. I had to do a double take. Honest to, and I am not making that up, that she looked so much like Jessica Biel, I literally did a double take. And then realized I've just made eye contact with her for a second time. So this is super creepy, but she looked like Jessica Biel.
Important question. The Jessica Biel that is basically retired now?
Well,
or the Jessica Biel that was in Summer Catch?
Well, I didn't stare, so I don't know at what age I would put her, but the resemblance was remarkable.
You should just Jessica and walk off and see if she said anything.
Jessica Biel! I did not do that.
Our 4 Downs always brought to you by our friends at Slice. Get and see the Bajaya Brothers this weekend. Just fantastic pizza from our friends at Slice. Had dinner with somebody last night. He was raving about Slice every time he comes in town. He tries to get by there. 5 locations for you. The original Lakeview, Vestavia, Montevallo, Crestline Park. The newest location in Edgewood, the corner of Oxmoor and Broadway. Get a slice and a salad today. Pick up a pizza on your way home. Start the weekend off right with our friends at Slice.
I had a dream last night. I know people hate, sometimes my wife hates when people recount their dreams. I don't know why she hates it.
I can't really do it. Like they're all, like mine last night was so disturbing. I had the laser pointer on my head.
Wait a minute. Like somebody put a head on it?
We did some kind of heist. Jimmy Anthony was involved in it.
We were?
No,
You know
like
how
I
bad
don't say,
we was-
like I can't remember everybody involved, but
Yeah.
like the carnage was crazy.
Heist.
And this like criminal organization, because we were gambling at the same time, got us in such gambling debt that we had to pull off these jobs for
My
them.
gosh.
But I just remember laying down, kind of like hiding, and I remember the laser pointer, and I thought that was it.
Game over.
Mine last night, I told my wife when I woke up, it was crazy. I had a dream that we were doing the show, but it wasn't here. It wasn't in the studio. It was just me and Tyler back here. And I was so hungry. And I said, we had just gone to break. And I said, I'll be real quick. I'm going to go to the vending machine. And I went upstairs to like the 5th floor, and there's like 15 women, and like this room's reserved. I was like, I'm sorry. So I decided to get in my car and drive to Target, which I see is 5 miles away. I was like, I got time. And I'm Target for a while. I'm like, nah, I'm not really that hungry. They're going to be pissed. I think I missed the break. Like that was my
I can
dream.
translate this one.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of food options here.
Yeah,
We
it's
don't.
true.
Well,
Yeah.
we got cookies today. Jay's cookie day.
It is
I
cookie
saw
day.
Laura walk in. I don't know, man. I wish I had peaceful dreams. And you know what I watched before I went to bed? It wasn't anything violent.
What?
So Ashley Madison, this new documentary on Netflix dropped.
Scott's talking worse.
Hey, how many have
saw
you
the
seen?
teaser.
I've seen one.
It's on Netflix, right?
And I was like, this is, and then at the end, I was like, holy shit, it grabbed me. And I wanted to watch episode 2, but it was 11 o'clock at night, so
Why
I didn't.
so late? Why are they waiting so long to do this?
I don't know. It's been
documentary?
for Scott. How many have you seen, Scott?
I've seen the first 2. It's really interesting.
Yeah. So does 2, you know what I'm talking about at the end where they do the cliffhanger?
Yep.
I was like, oh my God, I got to stay up. But I couldn't stay up. So is 2 better than 1?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm all in.
I'll never forget the day the list came out.
Oh, we knew somebody at our office.
Oh, I knew a lot of people.
At our
Yeah, it
office.
was.
I've
at our
still
office,
got
yeah.
the list. I pulled it and I was going to show Maddie. I was like, there were so many people, but I do have a theory on how some of these people are on the
I
list
have a theory for
without
one.
actually
Yeah.
having affairs.
Like, I think, well, I just know the day the list came out, I was getting texts like, look at number 138, look at number 476. And it's
Yeah.
like, God.
And I think a lot of these guys use, and I know we can get more into this whenever. I think a lot of these guys use this as an excuse that maybe got busted, but I think there was some legitimacy. And not that I don't care what your opinion is on it, but I was told by some people that watch porn that Ashley Madison was a big sponsor, and so it would pop up, and some of these guys would get like a better deal if they registered with Ashley Madison.
So, I mean, that's an explanation I don't want to have to give to get out of it.
I agree.
Just let you know, everybody, porn is absolutely free on the internet. Absolutely free.
Baby, I was not cheating on you. I was just watching porn. Well, my dream was we went to the Kentucky Derby, but after all of that,
Did
not
we
excited
win?
at all, huh?
Did we win?
No, but a horse, when we first got there, we were late getting there. We had a suite at the Kentucky Derby. And it was suite number 32. I don't know why it's so, but I just remember that. So I walk in, it's me, you, and Dunaway. We're in a suite. And we get there
I'm playing the 3-2 exacta now.
right as a race is ending, and a horse goes down, and it's laying on the track, and Lance is like, let's just keep saying, ooh, this is going to be bad. Ooh, this is going to be bad. I was like, maybe the horse is all right. And he goes, Brown, they are putting a bullet in that skull. That's all he
So
said.
you dream about my carnage.
I know. So I go back to the food. There's a buffet in the back. So I go start fixing a plate of food, and the horse gets up and walks off.
Of course.
And everybody claps.
That is so Brown, though. I'm sitting there, where's the bullet? And you're going to get food.
I'm going to get the food. I don't need to see a horse shot. That is 4 Downs, presented by Slice. Also, Hemp Hill Services, Lance, they bring you the lock every day, and they make sure that AC is working just right for the summer.
Yeah, 205-229-2090. Trust the name Birmingham's trust since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Hard to stop a train, 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
Trash is next on the next round.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the bayou, the amazing hand-patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
So Greg fell City in the chat room.
Well, awesome.
No, just remember everybody. Here's what I remember about this dream now from last night. So Greg says in the chat room, a couple of nights ago, I dreamt Dunaway came to eat dinner with the family, and he kept talking poorly about the food my wife made, and I was so embarrassed. I was trying to defend him. I just remembered in my dream, everybody's personality was on display. Lance is telling me that the horse is going to get a bullet in the skull. I immediately, upon hearing that news, turn around and go to the buffet and start fixing a plate. Dunaway is already back there, and he's bitching about the quality of the food. 100% in my dream. I'd forgotten that part of it until Greg just said it.
Yeah, look,
everybody's personalities are on display in the dream.
You know, it's so funny. I forgot what restaurant we brought up yesterday. I think we were off the air, and Dunaway was like, it's not good. I can count on one hand how many restaurants you said are good.
I know. I'm aware.
High expectations.
Like, I have people tell me, like, Dunaway said the place wasn't good. I said, completely agree.
Yeah, like if I was Maggie, there is no chance that I would cook for him.
I wouldn't either.
Because, you know, he takes that one bite and he's like,
that'll be better.
It's not bad. Yep. It's not bad.
Urology Centers of Alabama bringing you part of the show today.
Yeah, just they do so many great things at UCA. My urologist, Dr. Patrick Mills, the guy that did my vasectomies there, from vasectomies all sorts of different things. I want to remind you, prostate cancer, second leading cause of cancer among American men. Early detection is the key. Urology Centers of Alabama, they lead the way in prostate cancer diagnosis, personalized treatment. Their entire team of experts takes individualized approach to your care. If you're a husband, dad, brother, or friend, you owe it to yourself and the people around you. Get screened, know your family history, do the responsible thing, schedule your annual prostate exam. To learn more about prostate cancer, visit our friends at urologycentersalabama.com. Call 205-930-0920.
We live in the age of the hot take. And I was just seeing on Twitter, there's this show that I think is on CBS Sports Radio in the mornings. And it's Maggie and Perloff. And this morning they were debating on whether or not Scotty Scheffler should actually be playing his round of golf today.
No, they weren't.
They were. It's the hot take generation we live in, Lance. And I'm like, I'm just sitting here thinking, like, I'm doing the best of my life to never get arrested. I mean, that is one of my goals in life, never get arrested, which I'm sure Scotty Scheffler was too. But I can tell you this. In the event I get arrested at 5 a.m. and I am able to get out of jail that morning and I don't have to go to work, one of the things that's on the table for me is playing golf that day, okay? I got the rest of the day ahead of me. I'm going to go play golf. If $20 million is on the line, I'm sure going to play golf. So I don't understand the debate, should he be playing today?
Look, I appreciate the people that are listening and watching. I think we've got a really good product here at the next round. We have bad days and good days and that sort of things. There are certain shows that I just can't listen to anymore, and there's one in the afternoons. And so I flipped back, and I didn't realize I was Sirius XM just kind of jumping around. And Michelle Beadle is on a show. Did you know that? She does a daily show with some dude that I've never heard of, and I listened to him for a little bit, and they were entertaining.
Was it on Roku? Where was it?
No, it was on Sirius XM.
Oh, Sirius XM?
I think it was Mad Dog. I think they've got a show on Mad Dog Radio.
I thought she was doing a TV show on Roku or something like that, or.
You may have both.
No, that's my man, Rich Eisen. I catch his show from the day before, the day after.
On Roku while you're working out.
Yeah, that's where my Ozempic screenshot came from this morning when I was getting the workout. Yeah.
Okay.
Full circle there.
Full circle. It is trash time, Rockstar. If you do not mind, please hit the button.
Another time I was watching a TikTok about Beyonce and someone in the comments said, when's her birthday? Google it. Google it. Google it. Google it. Google it. Google it. Google is free. Google it. What the asking us for? By the time someone responded to you, you could have been Googled it.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
Hey, if you're looking for a new home, our friends at Mortgage Right are here to help. Whether you're a first-time buyer or seasoned home buying veteran, their great service and low rates make the process so easy. Speaking of veterans, they're veteran-founded right here in Birmingham. So remember, whether you're looking for your final home or your first home, whether you have a big down payment or need 100% financing, Mortgage Right, one-stop shop for all mortgages. Visit them online, mortgageright.com. Call that 280 office right here in Birmingham, 205-900-7200, NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender. You ever get pizza from a convenience store?
My little one loves to get at the convenience store where I stop every morning. Sometimes after school, we'll go by there to get her a snack, and she likes to get the Hunt Brothers.
Yeah.
And it always looks really good. So I commented on it one time. You're going to love this. And the girl that runs the store, when I was in there, when I go in there every morning, she says, what do you like on a pizza? And I told her. So the next morning, she had a pizza made for me. And I think I brought it up here. I think I ate a slice or two and brought it up here. It's a Hunt Brothers good pizza, man.
It's not bad, you know. And so Maddie asked me, she was like, what is Hunt's Brothers? So apparently they don't have it on the West Coast.
Yeah.
But yesterday doing the interview with Chip and Zay, 7-Eleven is one of Chip's sponsors.
Are they really?
And I was like, the weird thing I've always wanted, we ended up, I normally do like 10 or 15 minutes, did it over an hour with those guys yesterday. And so just random stuff. But I was like, I always wondered as a kid, and still to this day, why we don't have 7-Elevens in the state of Alabama.
I've never understood that either, because you don't have to go too far into Florida. Like if you're down at the Flora-Bama, say, and you cross the state line into Perdido Key, there's a 7-Eleven not too far once you get in.
We go to convenience stores. There's a market for 7-Eleven here.
For quite a while, we didn't have QTs, and now QTs are popping up. That's a good convenience store.
Yeah, but 7-Eleven has been around forever.
Yeah.
So anyway, this one came from a racetrack, which we do have some racetracks. 62-year-old man, you see him pictured right there, faces petty theft charges after taking a bite out of a slice of pizza and refusing to pay at a racetrack gas station last week.
Bad form right there.
It really is. Yeah. If the guy behind the counter pulls that assault off and takes his head off.
Well, it's probably an overreaction.
Go through that hair first.
Yeah.
According to the Flagler County Sheriff's Office, Ronald Broges Allegedly took a bite out of the slice of pizza and then left the store without paying last Friday. His arrest report details the employee confronted Broadus, who claimed he had paid for the item. Situation escalated when Broadus allegedly threw away the pizza and ice cream he had taken, threatened the employee before fleeing the store on his bicycle.
Oh, yeah, that'll get him. You get away with it.
That's why he's got such a good tan, right?
Yeah.
Stolen items totaled $8.98 before tax. Deputies located Broadus shortly after and arrested him.
His hair does kind of look like one of those bicycle helmets, Rockstar.
We had intentions after you forgot that last part. He had a little bit of a. He had one more thing he was going to do.
I got this one. I got this one.
Okay, good, because I can't peg this one.
I need the second person, though. Somebody give me the second person. Rush Propes and. Do you see some Rush Probes in there?
I do. I'm trying to do the second person.
Yeah. Scott, do you see Rush Probes in there?
Maybe a little.
Okay.
I got nothing.
I can't figure out who the second one is, but we got Rush Probes and somebody had a baby. And it's this guy. But boy, I cannot peg the second one.
You got to have the visor on.
Well, yeah. It would help with the visor.
Okay, Rockstar, I hope you got a picture of this next one. The NYPD unleashing barnacles to battle parking pirates.
What the crap is that?
So the department last month said it will begin using this windshield boot. It's a 17-pound device that attaches to a vehicle's windshield like a barnacle, remains there until the person pays the tickets. The contraption is also known as the barnacle device for its commercial-grade suction cups that attach to glass with 100 pounds of force.
Commercial grade.
Making it impossible to remove. That's not true. You can take your entire windshield out if you wanted to prove a point,
or
right?
do like Ace Ventura and just stick your head out the driver's side window.
They address that too.
Oh, do they? Okay. All right. I'll wait.
Panel costs $250 each month to operate. So far, the city has leased 4, which is used during an operation in Queens after illegally parking trucks, according to the NYPD. Any driver who tries to drive with the device attached while hanging out the window will suffer from a blaring alarm and can be tracked with GPS, the company noted. Drivers will also have to pay a $200 deposit for the device that they will get back when they return the device to the drop box.
Why are we not just booting cars anymore? Why is this being used?
I think this is probably easier to do than a boot.
Well, probably so. I just know the boot has worked for a very long time.
This is actually shames you more because
it
this is
definitely
much
does.
more visible that you have been ticketed.
Yeah, I mean that is very aggressive.
Somebody threw a phone book on his tire.
That is very aggressive.
Or windshield.
This is interesting. Somebody named their monkey Godzilla. And
that's a lot to live up to.
Well, how about this? He gorged on treats offered by passersby in Bangkok, Thailand, and he finally has passed away.
That's not real.
At the tender age of 6.
Yeah. No, that is completely photoshopped. His face is photoshopped on something else. That doesn't even look real.
Tell me if this is dramatic. On May 6th, Godzilla breathed his last breath at the Crystal Pet Hospital in Bangkok as his master held his tiny hand in his. However, the man and his family facing criticism for killing the young monkey with kindness, indulging his addiction to sweets and other fattening treats, and turning him into a popular attraction at the market stall. Tourists would pass by the vest-wearing primate, feed him all kinds of junk food, which led to him ballooning over 42 pounds, which is double the natural weight.
Rockstar, Forrester's right. Big boy needs the friends at Way to Wellness.
Yeah, oh my God.
Do you guys take monkeys?
That poor shirt, that vest. Jeez.
But, how long would a good dose of Ozempic take him to drop it?
I don't know. Are those, I see the belly button. Are those nipples?
Yeah, those are nipples.
Okay, so nipples and belly button.
It looks like a face.
Yeah, a little bit.
Is he just sitting on his junk?
Apparently, I don't think he's seen that in years. Do all monkeys have a belly button? Is that a thing?
I guess you have to be fed in utero or in vitro.
In vitro, it's definitely.
You think he pulls his meat out of the slit of his boxers?
I have no idea. I cannot believe.
I got a bunch of feedback on that after the show.
Yeah, I did too.
People that were blown away that you do that.
Well, I can't. Well, you did a standard Lance move, like 90% of people do it this way. Like you have no idea what the percentages are. But
you got so beat up when I asked you if you ever left your meat out.
I didn't get beat up. It's just a stupid question. I'm going to walk around like that. I'm not a complete idiot.
You have left a wedge on a green before and taken off, right?
Oh, those are a lot alike. That is a great point.
You prioritize golf.
Yes, those are a lot alike. Yes.
Okay.
And I can't tell you the last time I've left a club on a green, by the way.
I thought this was fascinating. Rockstar has given us what if Earth was only 100 people based on current statistics?
I tell you what, I'd like to select the people we knock out to get to 100.
Okay, here are based on current statistics. Gender, it would be 50 women, 50 men.
Okay, that's good for making it more than 100.
Continent, this is not going to surprise you. 60 of the 100 would come from Asia, 15 from Africa, 11 from Europe, 9 would be from South America, and we here in North America would be at the bottom of the pack with only 5 North Americans.
That's going to be tough.
Now, the age, 66 of the 100 would be between the ages of 15 and 64. 26 would be newly born to 14, and 8 would be 65 plus. The language, this is where it's going to get really tough. 12 are going to speak Chinese, 5 speak Spanish, 5 speak English, 3 speak Arabic, 3 speak Hindi, 3 speak Bengali, 3 speak Portuguese, 2 speak Russian, 2 speak Japan, and 62 speak other.
Yeah, other. There's other languages, but just imagine like it's you and another Japanese person. Like, hey, it's just you and I. Like, I'm lost.
We cannot communicate.
You want to talk to the 2 Russians? No,
I'm going to have to. Yeah, I'm hanging out with the 4 other English guys, I guess. Okay, internet. 70 of the 100 cannot access the internet. 30 can access the internet. I would put myself in the 30, surprisingly.
Can access.
Of the 100, how many do you think would have phones?
Of the 100, I'm going to say 12 out of 100 have phones. Cell phones or just phones?
Cell phones.
Cell phones, 12 out of 100.
75 have cell phones, 25 do not.
Yeah, I was close.
Good stuff there. Hey, spring buying season. Friends at Mortgage Right here to help. Veteran founded here in Birmingham, offer loans throughout the country. While the area they serve may have grown, their commitment to Birmingham and veterans has not changed. No cost or obligation to find out what you qualify from the mortgage experts. Call the guys today, 205-900-7200 or online mortgageright.com.
If you're following the PGA Championship, Scotty Scheffler just made another birdie. I need to see real quickly, Lance, if that got him to
Who was this Hubbard
6
kid?
or 7. Not Tyler Hubbard. Hang on, give me 1 second.
Yeah, I don't know who this kid is.
Why? And he's just playing well today.
Yeah,
Mark Hubbard.
Mark Hubbard's only a stroke back.
Yeah, he is. But Schauffele has not teed off yet. Scheffler is now at 6 under par. He just birdied the 18th, which is his 9th hole, so he is making the turn now. 2 under on the day, 6 under par. Just 3 shots back after a very eventful morning in his life. Your leader is still Xander Schauffele, who does not tee off for just a little while. He is at 9 under par, 1 shot lead over Mark Hubbard, and then a large group at 7 under. All right, Rockstar is going to pull out the old guitar and jump in here in the Flora-Bama Lounge and play us to the weekend. That is next on the next round.
Everything Alabama, all the time. Subscribe and set alerts at Roll Tide Pods on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
This hour of the next round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Stallions fans, your undefeated Birmingham Stallions are back at Protective Stadium this Saturday at 7 p.m. The Stallions take on the Houston Roughnecks for Hats Off to Heroes. Fans who purchase our Hats Off to Heroes ticket package will receive an exclusive camo hat. With only 2 home games left this season, don't miss your chance to cheer on your Birmingham Stallions. Let's pack Protective, Birmingham. Tickets start at just $10 and are available at theufl.com. That's theufl.com.
The World Wide Web is a large place. Find all your favorite people and content in the same spot. NextRoundLive.com is full of wonderful tidbits about the show you know and love. Find our gear, listen to your favorite personalities, follow our socials, and enjoy your trip to NextRoundLive.com.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
All right, we continue on the next round.
How about this dream? I got this text. Speaking of dreams.
This is not one of yours, though.
No, I had the weirdest one last night. You, Brown, and Dunaway and I were on stage at the Flora-Bama singing Afternoon Delight. My wife said that I was laughing out loud in my sleep.
Do I know this person?
You've met him.
I've met him. Afternoon Delight, the most famous rendition of that one has to be from Anchorman.
Oh,
Yeah.
Good Will Hunting had a good one, too.
Oh, did they?
Skyrockets in flight.
Yeah,
Afternoon Delight.
Remember before he got to Robin Williams, Matt Damon's character, Will Hunting, was being basically interviewed by different psychiatrists.
Yeah.
You mean putting from the rough.
And the one, that was George Plimpton, right?
Yeah.
But they hypnotized him, and he acted like he was under, and then he started singing Afternoon Delight.
Come on, everybody.
This hour of the next round presented by Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. Sterling and the gang down there serving you some lunch right now. They'll be open for dinner as well. Go get those great chicken fingers. He can cook a bird, that Sterling. Those Mississippi Delta tamales, great po' boys, the amazing sides. Megan gets you a marg from the bar there. Watch the PGA Championship. They're about to have some rain there at the PGA Championship. They already have, but it's about to get harder, I think. So they may have to stop play here in a bit. That is Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, champy'schicken.com. That is champy'schicken.com. All right. As you well know, this time of year on Fridays, we jump into the lounge, this year presented by our friends at Flora-Bama. We used to do it from the end of the Final Four up until... was it SEC Media Days or Kickoff? I get asked that.
It started out as Media Days. Then the past 3 years, we've gone almost to Kickoff.
Yeah. So we will go all the way to Kickoff. We started earlier this year.
He's not here. Is it going to be good today?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a good one today.
Are you really up in the air about what you're about to play?
No, I got one today.
Okay, you got one today. Last week you played us a song that had a very personal meaning to you.
Yeah, I did How to Save a Life by The Fray.
Oh, it's a great song.
That's an amazing song. Today,
you weren't here.
I was not. I haven't heard this story. I hate I missed it.
Yeah, so just real quickly, because I know Lance would appreciate this, the reason you played it last week was for what?
Well, I've lost a lot of friends musically and friendships from high school due to addiction, and it's all about the confrontation. And one of my best friends from middle school and high school, we lost in 2018 due to addiction, and we kind of did an intervention with him in high school, and it didn't really take. It's just one of those things where you avoid it, and I ended up playing one of his favorite songs at his funeral service, and it's just like, you don't want to do that. And
didn't you play Metallica?
He wanted me to play his favorite song, and it's crazy because I told his parents this because it was weird in high school. He's always said, like, hey, if I ever die, I want you to play Nothing Else Matters at my funeral, and Released by Pearl Jam. And I was just like, stop, man, that's dark. And then it happens, and I told his parents, and I was like, he may have been joking, but, I want to honor that he wanted me to play. So I just did a verse and a chorus at the service, but it was hard. But it's just, confronting friends and intervening with them that have major addiction issues instead of, it'll get better. He'll solve it on his own.
So The Fray, to me, it seemed like almost a one and done with that album.
They had a couple good episodes.
Good.
I don't know. You know, people start families and they get older. That almost like that. I just saw Kings of Leon finally release new stuff because half of them got married and have kids and stuff.
And you get internal feuds and all that kind of stuff. But I was going to ask you How to Save a Life. So that is the backstory of that?
That's my interpretation.
Oh, okay.
It could be that. It could be suicide. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like my interpretation, because that's what I love about songs like that. It's open to interpretation. That's the way I interpret it. It could be about a friend's suicide.
But it's kind of a pleasant song for, I know
for something that down. Yeah.
I know it's pulled back a little bit, but it's a great song.
Well, the Flora-Bama brings you Rockstars Lounge each week.
Oh, look, man, we had so much fun at the Flora-Bama last week, just with all the amazing musicians. Next weekend, it's Memorial Day week. I cannot believe next weekend is Memorial Day weekend. This month is absolutely flying by. Friday through Sunday, they're going to have, Rockstar, you tell me if this is a lot. Friday through Sunday, 48 live performances on 6 different stages.
Significant.
100%.
Plus, Saturday the 25th at 3 p.m. in the tent, I know our man Steve Powers will have a mic in hand because it is Miss Memorial Day Bikini Contest. Ladies can sign up on site. Maybe Big Earl's daughter will try to...
It's been about 2 weeks since the last bikini contest.
Time for another one.
Try to defend her silver medal. The Flora-Bama Fishing Rodeo, less than a month away. You can join us for the 11th anniversary this year, June 7th through the 9th. The funniest fishing tournament on the Gulf Coast, Flora-Bama's annual fishing rodeo. It's the everyman's fishing rodeo, just like the Flora-Bama Lounge. You don't have to be a VIP to fish with them. Check them out, florabama.com, for all of this incredible stuff that is going on.
All right, Rocky.
So, Jason Isbell, you guys fans?
Not particularly, no.
Okay.
I like that one song you did that one time.
Speed Trap Town. I know
Speed Trap Town. I like that one.
He gets political. I know.
Oh, that's not it at all. I just don't really care for his music.
He does one of his best known songs is this song, and I didn't know because I was like trying to brush up on it the other night because I never really played it, and I looked and I had no idea that Morgan Wallen covers this song. Cover Me Up is a Jason Isbell song. I'm guessing the majority of people know Morgan Wallen's version, which is pretty similar to the original, but. We're going to do a little Jason Isbell, a little Cover Me Up. You ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
All right. My heart on the run, keeps his hand on the gun, can't trust anyone. I was so sure what I needed more, try to shoot out the song. Days when we raged, flew off the page, such damage was done. But I made it through, 'cause somebody knew I was meant for someone. So girl, leave your boots by the bed, we ain't leaving this room. Someone needs medical help, or the magnolias bloom. It's cold in this house and I ain't going out to chop wood. So cover me up and know you're enough to use me for good. Put your faith to the test when I tore off your dress in Richmond all high. I sobered up and swore off that stuff forever this time. An old lover's scene, I thought it'd be me who helped him get home. But home was a dream, one I'd never seen till you came along. So girl, hang your dress up to dry, we ain't leaving this room. The Percy Priest breaks open wide and the river runs through. It carries this house driftwood. So cover me up. I know you're enough to ease me for good. Cover me up, I know you're enough to use me for good.
That is right in your wheelhouse, too.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, that's very, very, very
I saw our
good.
friends at Flora-Bama. They chimed in and they said, we've got a stage for you. I talked to them about you last week. They want you to come down, so we just got to figure out a time.
What, I could be number 49 this week?
You could be number 49. 1 in a million.
But they'll put you on that songwriter stage, man. I think you do a great job.
Thank you. I wish I could. Yeah, definitely. Let's do it.
That's the Flora-Bama Lounge.
Next weekend, Memorial Day weekend, Friday through Sunday, 48 live performances, 6 different stages. They're going to have Miss Memorial Day Bikini Contest coming up Saturday the 25th at 3 o'clock. The Flora-Bama Fishing Rodeo less than a month away. For all of this, to check it out, you can also shop online. Go to Flora-Bama.com.
Give us a thumbs up before you get out of here. Make sure you subscribed on YouTube. For everyone involved in the show, I'm Ryan Brown. Have yourself a great weekend. We'll see you Monday, 9 o'clock.